by our good friends over at Super Service today. And also wanted to mention we got our Bally's Pick of the Night. We might as well do that right now. Bally's Pick of the Night brought to you by Bally's Lincoln. My pick every night. Bally's has 4,000 slots, over 100 table games, concerts, dining, a full hotel and spa. Visit Bally'sLincoln.com and follow Bally's Lincoln on Instagram. Must be 18 plus. Gambling problem, call 877-9-GAMBLE. Well, over tonight, over 7. That's the bet. Over 7 runs between the Red Sox and Blue Jays. So we're going over 7 runs despite Ranger Suarez being on the mound against Dylan Cease in this one. And, of course, our opening take is presented by Super Service Today, day or night, and always done right. Visit superservicetoday.com. I'm in on the Red Sox moving on from Alex Cora. I'm in. I've had enough. I think his slow starts over the last few years. How about the defense being the worst defensive team in baseball for the last few years? I think it was time. I know the roster had issues, but he was going to tell you about it. I know we had a lot of young guys. He, of course, was going to tell you about it, right? All those things are true. Maybe the roster wasn't great. Maybe they had some, mismanaged roster construction. Alex Cora fired. I was a little bit shocked, but it's simple, everybody. Just keep it simple. The organization, Craig Breslow, they got sick and tired of Alex Cora underachieving and whining. Oh, well, you got guys under contract. It's not always the great thing. Oh, we just got a lot of young guys here. Oh, the weather. Whatever it was, Alex Cora was always complaining. Always. Talking about the log jam in the outfield, which might be true, but you know what? He complained about it. The extensions for young players, then he gets all over Ken Rosenthal. And what's Rosenthal doing today? He is bashing the Red Sox and defending Alex Cora. We'll let you hear plenty of it. Oh, the youth, blaming the youth after the loss on Friday. In the end, the most powerful guy on the Boston Red Sox was Alex Cora. He got Chaim Bloom axed. And you know what happened? He got a little bit of a taste of his own medicine. Craig Breslow went to ownership and said, we need to make a move. And they did. I said it last week. The ownership's been around. They were watching the team. I think they heard the sell the team chance. And on Marathon Monday saw how bad the game was. And, it's unfortunate, but every time they play the Yankees, something happens. A bad series against the Yankees, a good series against the Yankees. Last year, they swept the Yankees. What happened? Rafael Devers gets traded. This year, they get swept by the Yankees. Alex Cora gets fired. Now, there's a lot of things that I think happened. This is at least what I've heard. And I was just over at Nesson today. I had a chance to talk to Jonathan Papelbon earlier today. Oh, he shared his thoughts. Let me tell you. We'll let you hear those coming up in just a little bit. But from what I gather, they wanted to make some sort of move when it came to the hitting. And they wanted to move on from Fatsy, their hitting coach. And in the end, Cora didn't want to lose any of his guys, and they blew them all out. And that might have just been one of the reasons why they started. They needed to make some sort of change. I didn't think it would be Alex Cora. I'd be honest with you. I didn't think it would be him. But at some point, I know they were going to take calls tonight of people saying, why is Breslow still here? And it's still up to the ownership. They don't pay enough money. This was the starting point. Craig Breslow now has 134 games to put this thing together. You see that team, right? Does this team look like it's going to win 80 games the rest of the way, or 70 games, or whatever it is? They don't. But right now, there's nobody in the middle of it. If they want to play Peyton Tolley and pitch Connolly early and bring up guys from the minors, they can. If they want to sit Trevor Story, no matter how he feels about it, they can do that. If they want to steal more bases, they can be a team that does that. Cora had too much power. He was pinch hitting Marcelo Meyer. Do you see the guys who are really, really happy now that Alex Cora is gone? Marcelo, Roman Anthony, guys like that. The ones that are upset are the Trevor Storys, the Whitlocks, and guys like that, because clearly they've enabled those players for years, Alex Cora did. Trevor Story is what he is. And there's a couple of things that I will get into. We'll hear from some of the Breslow Kennedy stuff from yesterday, but overall, this is the starting point of a new direction for the Boston Red Sox. Let's say it doesn't work out over the next 130 games for Craig Breslow. He's out. Ownership will have to make the move to get this team back on track. People think that they're not aware or they don't care anymore. That's not the truth. Moving on from Alex Cora and seeing what Breslow can do on his own now with the team that he has, it's on him. Sam Kennedy made it clear, very clear. Breslow said it was a collaborative effort. Sam Kennedy says, nope, it was Breslow. So you know now he will be the scapegoat when things don't work out. But this organization needs a general manager that can pick a manager. And they haven't been able to have that since Dave Dombrowski brought in Alex Cora. And it worked. They won a championship. Alex Cora got Heimblum fired. He went through back channels to get it done. Craig Breslow beat Alex Cora to the punch this time because he was starting to do the things that got Heimblum fired. I think the move yesterday is the first step for the Boston Red Sox to get back into control organizationally and through ownership. They hired Craig Breslow. They gave Alex Cora the extension. Now that he's out of the mix, if you don't see changes, Breslow will be the next to go, and they'll have a brand new position for a chief baseball operator to come in here and be able to hire their own manager because they couldn't find anyone to do it before because they knew Alex Cora had too much control. Now, it will be a destination. You'll have guys under contract such as Garrett Crochet and Roman Anthony. You'll have good players here. People will want to be the next chief baseball operator for the Boston Red Sox because it hasn't been something of interest the last couple of years because of why? Alex Cora had too much control on the team. I'm pro the move. I'm almost shocked that they did it, but they are very impulsive over there. They make impulsive moves. And moving on from Cora is the first of many. And I'm interested to see how the team responds. Last night they win. It was great. How do they respond tonight now going on a road trip in Toronto? We'll leave it there at 617-779-0985. I do want to hear from Breslow and Kennedy and, when they decided to make the move. Let you hear a little bit of Chad Tracy, the new manager. And, well, Ken Rosenthal's all over this one. Just happens to be Alex Cora's boy. But we'll have more on that. We'll take a quick break. I see you guys on YouTube. Just go to youtube.com, search 98.5 The Sports Hub, and boom, you'll see me right on there. Skaz is here. We'll hear from him. We got intern Dawson as well. I'm Joe Murray. You're listening to 98.5 The Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming.
Breslow and Sam Kennedy, the team president. What did they do? Did they open the floor to questions? Did they allow players to express their feelings? No. They spoke, no one else did, and the players were not happy. You might have seen Trevor Story's comments. Trevor Story, I can tell you from years of experience covering him, is one of the more mild-mannered guys in the game. Not a guy to make waves. And what he said was, hey, this wasn't cool. And it wasn't cool. You got to let players have their say too. And I know they're the employees. These guys are the bosses. We all know that. It's obvious every single day who's running the show. But at the same time, if you have feel for your clubhouse, feel for your players, feel for the organization, then you're going to handle this a little bit differently. And that is the biggest issue with the Red Sox. It's feel. It's Breslow's feel. It's John Henry's feel. We haven't heard from him in ages. He's the one running this show. And this is just a lack of respect for your players. And ultimately, in Henry's case, when you don't address anything, it's a lack of respect.
Letting something slip, and now it's, the Red Sox, this, and that. Hey, the Red Sox aren't perfect here either. They're not perfect here either. They hired Craig Breslow. Breslow's the guy that put the team together. But there's a lot of reporting going on, whether it's Chris Cotillo, whether it's McWilliams, whether it's Jen McCaffrey. There's a lot going around when it comes to the stories. And most of the time with Red Sox stuff, there is smear campaigns after the fact. The fact is this. There were people in that locker room that Alex Cora basically coddled and played every day because he liked those guys and believed in those guys. I think Alex Cora wanted to be the manager, not continue to be a coach. There is a lot of youth on the team. Hey, listen, the shortstop, that guy sucks. I'm sorry, batting 198 and having something to say. And you know what? I got one more thing. Now I'm spitballing. Alex Cora saying, I'm happy. What a loser look. You're happy about getting fired from a 10-17 team after you made the playoffs a year ago? What a loser. Loser. Oh, I'm fired now. I'm happy. I don't have to be a part of that situation. You underachieved for years. For years you underachieved. And now you're happy? You're happy? Oh, what a sellout look. What a sellout look. Oh, it's so bad. I'm happy. I'm happy now. Me and my whole entire group. You look like those losers that were on the plane years ago when they got traded to the Dodgers. Remember that one? I'm happy now because you underachieved going 10-17 and you tried to get the general manager fired again. And I get it, right? He probably thought, the roster stunk. We weren't going to win anyways. You never talked about going to the playoffs anymore. You only complained and talked about the youth. I'm happy now. What a bad look by you, Alex Cora. What accountability is Alex Cora taking whatsoever on the Boston Red Sox? Answer me that. You call in right now. Someone tell me a time where Alex Cora took any accountability for being 10-17 or not playing well in the playoffs or losing on the road or whatever. Do you think he helped Brian Bayo this year? You think he did? How about pinch hitting Marcelo Meyer? Did that help this year? How about just the playing guys every different night in left field? How about sitting Roman Anthony? How'd that look? Zero accountability, but he's happy. I'm happy. Whee! You took zero accountability. You underachieved. You coached a really good roster to a championship, but you're happy. Wee! I'm happy. I got fired on a 10-17 team that sucked. But you're going to blame everybody else but take zero accountability. Out on that. Out. Feel free to call in. 617-779-0985. What else did I hear this week regarding the Red Sox? Yes, they wanted to move on from a hitting coach. He didn't want to move on from it, so that was the case. And then everyone got fired. Trevor Story, people, I guess the scouts, think he might be past his prime, but Alex Cora kept putting him out there. He is back out there tonight, by the way. He wasn't yesterday. The one thing I will get on the Red Sox about, though, I wish John Henry spoke to the team. I think that a lot of those players and veterans probably wanted to hear from him. He was there. He was with Sam Kennedy, but it was Craig Breslow who spoke, and maybe they did that because they wanted to show the team that Craig Breslow's in charge. But I think at some point, John Henry's going to have to speak. I don't know when. I'll have him on this show. I'll have him on Boston's Enter the Chat every day at 4 o'clock on Nesson. Happy to talk to him. I'll also commend him for making the move. He hired Craig Breslow. He's now backing Craig Breslow. They're doubling down on the drive line and their defensive philosophies and playing younger players and maybe even paying certain salaries. So I commend him to going with it. It's just, I hope the team's better. And if they're not better, they're going to have to find somebody else and pay somebody else to a general manager to find their next manager. So the one thing I don't like Alex Cora saying I'm happy for taking zero accountability. And I do wish at least the message came from the owner. Haven't heard from him in a long time. I did have a chance to talk to Jonathan Papelbon today. Pap's not afraid to say much. And flat out asked him, was he shocked regarding Alex Cora and kind of the dynamic between Alex Cora and Craig Breslow? Let's hear from Jonathan Papelbon's guest. Oh, well, I'm sorry. I didn't know if you were listening to me. Yeah, let's hear from Jonathan Papelbon.
I am surprised, but there's a part of me that isn't. I'll be honest with you. The thing I'm most surprised about is that Breslow's still sitting in the front office more than anything.
Now, just to follow up on that, do you think it should have been one or the other? Do you think it should have been a clean sweep? And do you think that, you know this, Pat, when general managers take over, they want to hire their manager, right? That's always what you hear. This wasn't the same relationship there. Cora's been around for years. But do you think one should have stayed and one should have gone, or it should have been a clean sweep on both of them?
If you're going to do a clean sweep, it's got to be everyone included. I think it's got to be a top to bottom thing, and now that seeing what moves have been made, I truly do believe that there was some kind of difference. There wasn't a gel between the bench and Breslow. And so I had my presumptions that was going on. This pretty much puts the nail in the coffin that was what's going on. And there wasn't that general good flow between the general manager's position and the manager's position.
So he thought Craig Breslow should have been fired. Not Alex Cora. He also thought that maybe if they were going to do it, it'd be a complete sweep. So I'm kind of glad they moved on from Cora. Is he the biggest part of their problems? No, he's not. But I think this is the first step of ownership trying to get back or control again of maybe the direction of the team. And if Craig Breslow and his team stinks over the next 134 games, he's going to get fired too. But at that point, I think they're going to have to spend some money on bringing in someone that can run the Red Sox and find their next manager. And I think that's why I like the move. I think that part is probably more likely to happen than Breslow and the team going on a little run. Your thoughts, 617-779-0985. Skaz, I'm not sure if you've had a chance to react to Alex Cora being fired. I know you've also have been critical of Alex Cora because of the Bregman Devers stuff in the past. How do you feel about them moving on from Alex Cora after 27 games?
Yeah, I think it's overdue is a word I've seen used today. I would agree with that sentiment. I was not an Alex Cora believer. I didn't want him brought back in the first place after the cheating scandal. I think he's coasted for quite a while. His teams routinely stink to start the season. They suck at fielding. They suck at knowing the fundamentals of baseball, and I understand that is a bigger thing that speaks to the organization and how they are their players are taught and instructed at an organizational level all the way down. I understand that. But I don't think Alex Cora was the guy for this group, for guys like Marcelo Meyer and Roman Anthony and Rafaela. Nothing made me feel stronger or embolden those feelings more than seeing Alex Cora's reaction to being fired. And I know you said very much the same not too long ago. When you get a guy who's celebrating and tweeting out the happy face, acting like a 16-year-old girl after a breakup to try and like post and make it look like you're happy on the other side.
Happy.
Yeah, and I'm sure Alex Cora is happy, and that's why he deserved to be fired, because he feels the way he does about being fired as the manager of the Boston Red Sox. It's not a job that he held in the regard that I believe it should be held in. I think his actions show you that. I'm with Papelbon as well, something I never thought I'd say, but I do agree with Papelbon that Breslow probably should have been gone too. If you want to try and sell me that Breslow should get his shot at his manager, fine, I guess. But the team stunk. They were wildly underperforming. Something was wrong in that clubhouse. The Wilson Contreras thing earlier in the year, Wilyer Abreu. There's just been a couple things this season that have smelled, as you would say, Joe. So I have no issues with the firing of Alex Cora. Now, Kennedy and Breslow, tons of issues still with them. So I think that's where the problem with the Red Sox really lies, is that it's rotten from the inside. And, this isn't something that's going to be fixed just by firing the manager.
Okay, let's go to the phones. Mike's in Westford. Mike.
Murray, you've said a couple of things that I can't comprehend. You talk about accountability and Cora taking accountability. I'm with you on that. 100% right. Probably time for Cora to go. But where is Breslow and Henry's accountability?
That Breslow took accountability.
Garbage team together.
No. Hang on. Breslow took accountability for a bad roster yesterday. He did. Did you listen? He did.
I did not.
He did.
Fair enough.
So there you go. Okay. And then I went at John Henry for not talking to the team. He should have been accountable for that. Did I say that?
You did say that, but that's not even where the accountability ends.
Keep going.
Think back to Devers. They got nothing for him except for a bag of rosin and a couple of balls.
Yeah, and who skated
on that? And what did John Henry? What did he do with that money?
No, he gave it to Ranger Suarez this year.
Right. Did we need Ranger Suarez?
That's not my call. All I'm trying to tell you is that they spent the money.
They spent the money, but they didn't spend the money where they needed to. John Henry continues to put teams together that sell just enough tickets that he's not losing money.
No. John Henry hired
He
Craig
signs the
Breslow.
pocket. He signs the checkbooks.
He does.
Murray.
Listen to me.
He signs the checkbooks.
Mike, you didn't listen. So this is the thing. You're calling me about accountability when you didn't listen to what anybody said. You're just spitting narratives right now that are crap. So, I want to call you out for not being accountable. You didn't listen.
How was that crap?
You didn't listen. You didn't hear what they said.
Guys all day.
No, that's because you didn't hear what Craig Breslow said yesterday. Craig Breslow said he put together a team, and he put together this team, and he's accountable for that. He said that.
Yep.
What John Henry should be accountable for is hiring Craig Breslow. Nobody wanted the job. Why did nobody want the job, Mike? Why?
Because John Henry wants to treat us like we're Tampa Bay.
Because Alex Cora had all the power on the team. Alex Cora has all the power. All the power. All of it. Don't call me saying accountability when you didn't listen. Not having that one, Skaz. Not doing it. Did you listen to the press conference yesterday, Skaz?
Unfortunately, I did. Most of it through Matt McCarthy and Joe Murray.
Yeah. Can I tell you? This isn't Ness and Joe talking, because I had Papelbon on today, and I wanted to people think that we don't want to say bad things on Nesson. The team sucks. What are we supposed to do? Oh, well, they're going to get better. Things are going to be. No. Jonathan Papelbon is a flamethrower, by the way. Guy will say whatever the hell he wants. Said that he thought that Breslow should be fired and took Cora's back, kind of.
Yeah, I wouldn't take Cora's back. I think he definitely deserved to be fired. I really don't know how you could feel otherwise. I know you look at the roster and say that's not a roster that should compete in the American League East. Well, William Braves, a 2-time Gold Glove winner. I've been told by Red Sox fans for years that Jarren Duran is good, and the Red Sox have told me that for years. Roman Anthony's the number one prospect in the sport. You're supposed to have, a top 5 rotation, I was told, coming into the season. So when all of that falls apart, it can't all be on the GM. And look, I don't like Breslow. I think his roster building does stink, but their payroll and their roster heading into the season were not this. They were not dead last in all of baseball. So while they may not be competitive to win the AL East, they're certainly not this either. So Alex Cora deserves that blame. It's how many years in a row of his team starting slow, not knowing how many outs there are, being terrible at situational baseball. Like, I do. I think it was time for Cora, and the people that say, well, Breslow should be gone too, I'm not arguing with them. I think that's a fair sentiment as well.
At this point, if they're 10-17, they've underachieved. And they fire Breslow, who takes over? One of Breslow's guys, right?
Yeah, it's going to be Theo, Joe.
It's not. So, no, but for real, like think about this. You fired Cora and his entire staff. So what'd you do? You brought up the guy from the minors.
Chad Tracy.
Who's worked with all of these young players, right? Do you know who the guys who were did you hear Roman Anthony when they fired Cora?
Marcelo Meyer seemed pretty happy.
They were like, oh yeah, Trace our guy, whatever. Like, do you see the mix in the organization there?
Trevor Story, you see him happy?
He was not. I think we have it. I know I've read the quotes yesterday. Let's play that on the other side. We'll hit a headline here.
They cleared things up, Joe. They cleared things up.
I read that a little while ago, but he is back in the lineup today. You know what, Skazka, I just have to say this. When we started the year this year, I wanted to talk Red Sox baseball as like the manager moves and the nights in and nights out. The laziest conversation I can hear is Red Sox ownership doesn't spend money because they were 6th in Major League Baseball this year. And yes, they were 12th in actual cash. Okay. Yes, they're not spending like the top 3 teams like they used to. That's a fact. We all know that. The story isn't about that. The story is about Alex Cora and why he got fired, and that ownership is sticking with the guy they hired because they felt like the other guy had too much power. So when you call in about where's the accountability here and there, where was Alex Cora's accountability? There isn't one. He's happy. He's going to Aria in the North End with Massimo and showing, throwing up the thumbs up, right? That's what he's doing. Where's his accountability been? 0. And again, yesterday, Breslow said it himself. He took accountability for the team he built. Now the owner is putting it all on him, the guy he hired, to see if they can figure it out over the next 130 games, which probably is doubtful. And when that happens, he'll fire his ass too. That would be accountability. The laziest thing is the ownership. Yeah, they don't spend anymore, blah. No. How about the guy that was supposedly a highest paid manager in the league, second highest, takes 0 accountability for a crap team he manages? We'll go to break. We'll hit the headline. I'm Joe Murray. You're listening to 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines.
Well, Red Sox in Toronto right now. No.
We call them the Joe Murray pre-party. It's Felger and Maz afternoons right now. Joe Murray on the Sports Hub.
Yeah, we talked. Baseball's a crazy game, and it's a game that is, it's a business at the end of the day. And we talked, and obviously those conversations will stay between us. But yeah,
maybe they're going to try to trade him. We should make a list, Skaz, of guys that probably were Cora guys that won't be here.
I would say you could start with Trevor Story.
Trevor Story, Garrett Whitlock.
You need Whitlock.
What about Duran?
See ya.
I like Yoshida. He doesn't say anything.
I love Yoshida.
I don't know what side of the street he lives on.
No.
I bet you he does. I bet you he's probably happy that Cora's gone because he might play more. Wow, was he in the lineup tonight? I actually didn't even see it.
No.
The roster's a problem. Hey, listen, Skaz, there's a lot of people at fault. A lot of people at fault here. But the people who are protecting Cora is driving me crazy. I just read this one right here. How did Cora have all the power when the team moved on from guys they wanted like Bogaerts and Bregman? Well, Bogaerts signed a contract elsewhere. You're throwing the NESN narrative. The NESN narrative now, huh? I'm literally crapping on Cora and like the owner not talking, but it's a NESN narrative. You mean to tell me that the owner didn't like Alex Cora? He gave him like $30 million, didn't he? 20 million and change? He's paying him to get rid of him.
Is Alex Cora a good shield for John Henry?
Absolutely. Absolutely. The Bregman thing, though, don't give me the Bregman crap. Bogaerts and Betts, they didn't want to pay them. That's fact. And in the end, they were right about Bogaerts. They were not right about Betts. They got nothing back from them.
I blame Alex Cora for how the Devers and Bregman thing went down.
Yeah, and then Bregman not coming back. That Cora's got nothing to do with it? Get out of here. So that's a narrative. 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 And that's a narrative would be, there's nothing wrong at all. They're going to win 8 in a row and get right back in the race. That'd be a narrative. No, can anybody? No one. Thank you for being accountable, Skaz. Skaz, thank you for being accountable regarding Alex Cora.
Yeah, I never was a fan, so easy for me to be accountable, Joe.
He underachieved.
Yes, consistently.
He's so happy, though. So happy.
If you're pumped to get fired from the Red Sox, you should not have been manager of the Boston Red Sox.
Dude wanted nothing to do with the young guys. And it is funny because over the last, I was doing mornings, and I was telling people, hey, ownership, they're seeing what's going on. And it's like, yeah, what are they going to do? Well, okay. I didn't think they were going to fire the manager. I didn't. But I'm glad they did. Oh, and you know what? I yesterday they were stealing a lot of bases, and things were a little different. I don't know if Cora would have done that normally. So we'll see what they do tonight. I mean, at least the team isn't tanking, right? Right? If they were really upset, wouldn't they tank and lose?
Can you tank as the Boston Red Sox? Intentionally, anyways.
Well,
I feel like they've done it unintentionally.
I asked that question before about the Patriots. Could they tank in the AFC East? It didn't work out. They couldn't. Oh, Trevor's story. Wouldn't get into specifics of what he talked about with Breslin. You know, he tried to talk to Breslin all pissed off yesterday. Wanted to be like, who do you think you are? Like that kind of thing.
Yeah, like Bryce Harper to Manfred there in the locker room.
Yeah. Yes. Like that.
I will say I am okay if the Red Sox stop catering to bad veterans, to guys that stink. I think it's okay if the Red Sox stop catering to players like Trevor Story. I personally am okay with that.
All right, well, there's lots of people who want to talk. Let's talk to them. Matt's in Lynn. Matt.
Hey, what's up, Joe? What's up, Skaz?
Yo.
Love the show. Hey, and Joe, I think you're right. I think it's about power. Cora had too much power there. They got rid of him. But I think that kind of goes back to Devers, too, right? He didn't want to cow down to ownership. He didn't want to switch positions, and they dropped the ball with communication with him. But, I think you're right. This is a power thing. But even if people don't like Cora, can we still say, might not be a great move to fire him and have the coaching staff, this early in the season? I'll hang up and listen. Thanks, guys.
I think it's good. I think they're going to put guys in place that want to coach and manage.
Yeah, I mean, I get what he's trying to say, that getting rid of a guy like Alex Cora, before the 30-game mark, it is a risk. It is kind of, you're throwing it to Chad Tracy, who's never managed an MLB game before, in his life, with a roster that does have Trevor Story on it and Willie Abreu and Roman Anthony and Marcelo Meyer. But I'm with you, Joe. I think bringing in a guy who knows these guys and he was a AAA manager and had to do more of the hands-on everyday stuff. I think that's a good change for this group. Wouldn't you rather try it now? Yes. And if you see it works a little bit, but it's not right, you go and get the guy. Yeah, absolutely. And if you like it and you're like, hey, we could grow on this. Maybe we spend a little here or there. I think that's what they want to do. By the way, Breslow didn't make it clear that Tracy's going to be sticking around. So I got I got a name for you. Local guy, good guy. Oh, boy. Rocco Baldelli. That is the name that seems to be very popular among Red Sox Twitter. Now, why? Why Rocco Baldelli? Because you know his name? Well, I think he has managed, right? He's got experience managing guys. Joe, I don't know his record, to be honest. He's currently an executive with the Dodgers. Now, do you think that you would rather be an executive with the Dodgers or the manager of this Boston Red Sox team? I would like to stay with the Dodgers. I think that's probably a pretty nice office. I have to imagine the concessions around that office are also pretty nice. The perks of being in the Dodgers front office, not bad. One of the names I saw Cotillo float was Dustin Pedroia. Oh, where is Luke? The little intern leader. Luke. Oh, he's probably still in Barcelona. Do you remember when he said that to me? Yeah. I almost jumped down his throat, remember? Yes, and maybe we'll point for intern Luke. So I talked to Papelbon today about that. He's like, there's no way that Dustin Pedroia will be the head coach. And he goes, and if he is, I'll be his pitching coach, is what he said. Well, then, yeah. Yeah, no thank you. I think I'm all set. I don't want that. I like Pap. Pops off every once in a while. But yeah, I wonder if Cotillo just did that to tickle us. It's not going to be Jason Varitek. No, certainly not. Oh, the Varitek manager days are over. That after 30 years, it's over. We can finally put that to rest. We can finally do that. I got Gabe. What's up, Gabe?
How you doing, Joe? Long time listener, first time caller.
Thanks, bud.
Yeah. I'm just disagreeing with you a little bit. I just hope both of them should have been gone. Because can you tell me which player did Breslow negotiate a contract and sign since he's been a manager? Being a GM.
Garrett Crochet or all.
He was on the team.
What do you mean?
Pre-agents. Tell me the pre-agent that he signed.
Breslow signed them.
Breslow, that was Theo Epstein. That helped him. Remember, he was struggling, and Theo Epstein had to jump in.
Theo Epstein was here like 15 years ago.
Yeah, but he was. Remember, it was in the paper. It was in
last year. They signed. Yeah, last year. Aroldis Chapman and traded for Crochet.
Yeah, I just feel the guy is terrible on his job.
I gave you the answer.
Yeah, no, but you're saying because he was struggling signing Breslow. The guy who just signed the third baseman, Alex. He couldn't sign him because the guy doesn't know how to negotiate. My issue is that I think both of them should have been gone. If we're cleaning the house, we clean the house. We don't leave it dirty laundry on the other side, and then we say we're cleaning the other side. How are you going to get the clean house?
Okay, I appreciate you calling in. Believe it or not, John Henry liked the moves that Craig Breslow did last year. and wanted to empower him a little bit more this year because he liked the most. Theo Epstein hasn't made moves in 15 years, right, Skaz? Am I wrong about that?
That one took me a little by surprise, too. I was not aware that he helped close the Whitlock contract, or the Crochet contract.
But they did get Alex Bregman in free agency, right? Just to be fair, Craig Breslow got Alex Bregman.
Did he? Or
got
Cora?
Oh, it was Cora?
Well, that's what I'm...
Okay. Araldis Chapman doesn't count. Who else did they get in free agency last year? I mean, I know who they didn't get this year in free agency. That's for sure. I know that one.
If Alex Bregman wanted to be here, Joe, he would have been here.
He would have been here. I know. John's in the car. John.
Hey, guy. Love the show, Joe. I'm calling to find out, big question, how does Kennedy always get a pass on this? I'm just amazed that every time, and does he basically control the money that Henry tells him to control, and how does he keep getting a pass?
Well, listen, yesterday I felt that when Sam Kennedy said it was Craig Breslow's decision, I think that was Sam Kennedy passing all the blame on to Breslow next. But Kennedy's just a voice for the owner. That's all he is. He doesn't make moves.
And just one other quick thing, Joe. I am dashing right now. I know you appreciate that.
Oh, what do we got? What'd you pick up?
Well, no, I just picked up at McDonald's just a Happy Meal for probably some kid. But I've been dashing for a couple hours. I've been dashing for like 2 or 3 years.
I love a dasher.
Thanks, Joe. Have a good night, guys.
We appreciate all the dashers. I love all the dashers. Danny's in the car. Danny.
Joe, Skaz, good evening. Long time since I talked to you guys. There's so much to talk about, in regards to Alex Cora. While I agree with many of everyone's opinions across the board on all stations, all pundits, I feel like Alex actually shot his way out of town. And for him to be at 4 a.m, coming out of a restaurant and texting writers and saying, hey, listen, we're happy, the Coras are going to be fine. I feel like he not only shot his way out of town, but is there a possibility, and I got to make 2 points here, please, and thank you. Is there a possibility that enough was enough as far as Alex was concerned with free agent signings, players that he wanted to sign so the team could go to the playoffs and potentially win a World Series? Point 2 would be, in regards to Nesson and everybody slamming Nesson, I hear TC on the after games constantly slamming the Red Sox. I listen to Fleming on the radio slamming the Red Sox. So when everybody talks about the Nesson narrative, I quite frankly, I think that Nesson has really blossomed over the years, and I enjoy listening to you guys. And it's time for the Red Sox to sign somebody like a Dylan Cease and eat the back end of the contract and get us back into the World Series for a Red Sox nation and for all of New England who pours our heart into the boys of summer. I'll hang up and listen to your comments.
Thank you. I had TC on today, and he was pretty critical of everything. And yeah, I think we can be as critical as we can over there. I think the only time we ever, at least I never have really been told not to say something, but, could the camera work every once in a while be a little better? I'm only saying this to be funny. I'm not saying, hey, listen, I make mistakes on this radio station. Right? Anybody can get a job in this town nowadays, Skaz, anyways, right? So it's like, at this point, I make mistakes, you make mistakes, they make mistakes. Let's just laugh about it. But I think we're all trying hard. And when the team stinks, oh boy, you're reaching. I reach a lot. My back hurts. My arm hurts from reaching sometimes. You know that's Skaz.
Hey, Joe, just on this very point, we're being told that Theo Epstein did help Craig Breslow acquire Garrett Crochet, was the report at the time. What he did, I cannot find any information
on. But Craig
on.
Breslow will get the credit.
Yes. But Theo Epstein, a guiding light in that process.
So Elliot Wolf, does he get credit for Drake May?
A very intensive therapy session, back at work on Monday.
Yeah, that one, we got to talk about that one.
A lot to get to, Joe. I missed you. I haven't seen you in like 2 weeks.
I know.
Last time I saw you was before WrestleMania.
Yeah.
It's a lifetime ago.
You know what? We'll catch up on that today.
Yeah.
I'm so you go to Vegas, you come home, and you hear, like, my voice is gone. I've been sucking down halls like you couldn't believe.
You a menthol guy or the lemon? What do you
I went lemon.
About? There you go.
Lemon.
Smart man.
I even took the weekend. I was here yesterday with Matt.
Yes, I listened.
The yelling hasn't helped me. Yelling earlier probably didn't help me. We're going to talk to Smitty on baseball coming up in a bit. His team's been doing an excellent job covering this story.
I think I saw Chris Cotillo post they had over 30 articles on the firing of Alex Cora on Mass Live.
Wow. We'll talk to John Serenites later. He's of New England Football Journal. Dawson's cutting up some sound from me yelling earlier, so that will be on the website later on today. And I just retweeted the Jonathan Papelbon interview. If you want to watch that, he had a lot to say. He does not think Dustin Pedroia will be the next manager.
Nor do I, Joe. Nor do I.
I wonder if there's odds on that. Maybe I'll reach out to Bill Spiros and see what he's got for that one. The Red Sox, Bruins, Celtics. How about that? Hey, the Green Teamers podcast. I listened last night.
A little goo, we'll be back soon, Jake working late last night. Sean Silver did a tremendous job last night as well.
Good job. I love Sean Silver.
Always.
Always. All right, we'll take a quick break. And this hour of the Sports is brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Enjoy quick and convenient vehicle maintenance this month. Visit NewEnglandOilChange.com. You'll save 15% off an extra through oil change at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, the official oil change of busy people. I'm Joe Murray.
You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5.
Roulette was fun. So I left here. Last time I saw you was that Thursday night.
Yes.
I barely slept, got on a plane. You know who I saw on the plane? You know Colin who works here?
Yes, I heard this. You saw our very own Colin Kennedy.
I saw Colin. That's his last name. I met the Kennedys. I met Colin, his dad, his brother. I saw a bunch of people that were listeners. Hey, Joe. Hey, man. Hey.
A good Boston contingent out there.
Yes. Let's just say that I met Captain Mike on the first flight. He was the captain.
Oh, the actual captain.
The actual captain listens to the radio station.
Well, we have other captains, Joe.
Yes.
So I wasn't sure.
So Captain Mike was the JetBlue pilot. He said he listened to the show that night.
Love that.
And he said he was wondering if I'd be on the plane. And let's just say I got a nice, comfortable seat.
Love that.
And
it's a good start to the trip.
They were very nice to me. Checked in. The weather was a little I wanted the pool out in Vegas. It's where it's at. You can play blackjack while you're in the pool if you really want to. It was just too cold for that. But I did have the best pizza of my life.
Of your life, Joe.
Of my life.
Wow.
Called Pizza Rock.
That's high praise.
It was Detroit style. Now it's the only difference between Volo and Swampscott and this one has a different oven, kind of like a brick oven. So I walked around Vegas by myself eating food.
Sounds like it was
awesome, amazing.
Yeah.
And then I got a nice little 90-minute time limit on a buffet again.
Oh, they dinged you, huh?
$55. That's not bad.
Not too bad.
It's better than the 200.
Yes, yeah.
Ate like a king. Went to WrestleMania. Went to the blackjack table. Oh, Maddie from Providence from Card Vault was there.
From Providence.
Actually,
yes.
They were all there. All the Card Vault guys, because every wrestler was there. He met us one night, and then the roulette. I all of a sudden I got into roulette, Skaz. I'm not much of a roulette guy. Let's just say that I either bet black or red all night long. And then Andy, I went with Andy Wong and Mike Riley, and they were like, "All right, dude, we're going to bed." And I said, "All right, guys, have fun." And I sat there and bet black or red for the next 3 hours by myself. That's probably where this voice is coming from. And then I got a Wahlburgers at 2 a.m, which not always the best choice at 2 a.m. Anyways, I had fun. I'm back. I did morning. I did afternoons, and Vrabel spoke out of nowhere with McCone. And then I did mornings the rest of the 3 days. So I'm not back on track yet. Today was like my first normal day.
I was a little disappointed that Vrabel interrupted the return of Joe Murray and Tim McCone off the marathon show. I was really, yeah.
And we did ask, what's harder to do, 3 days in Vegas or 26.2 miles?
That is a good comp there. Might be the 26.2.
I still think it's the 26.2.
Yeah. Even though some guys are doing that in under 2 hours nowadays. I don't know if you saw that over the weekend.
Yeah.
It's the shoes, they're saying, Joe. It's all the shoes.
Yep. Worked with Michael Hawley for the first time.
Big Michael Hawley fan.
Incredible. Just a good dude.
Only heard good things.
I think he rises everybody's game. He's like I don't want to call him Jordan, but
he's like Tatum out there.
Exactly.
Joe,
Exactly.
The elevator.
See all those assists last night by Tatum? 11.
Yeah, you should look at the expected assists, too, if you really want to get some go, Joe. A lot of expected assists.
But I will say this, and I'll leave on this one because I know we got Smitty coming up next. Mike Vrabel should send Alex Cora like a bottle of something or a box of cigars.
And it did seem like he was doing some shopping today, so maybe he picked up something for Cora, too.
Do you think that's why they impulse moved?
The Red Sox, you're saying. Yeah.
Like, hey, this is a good time to do this. Maybe we won't get some heat.
Yeah. I mean, maybe if Lucchino was still here, I'd think they were operating that way, but those are the old days, Joe. I don't really know any of their rhyme or reason down there anymore.
Some guy goes, "Hey, Joe, I can't believe you're taking John Henry's side over Cora." I'm not really taking John Henry's side over Cora. I'm just want to say that Cora stinks.
Yes.
Not really taking a side on this one. I just am glad that Cora's gone.
Plenty of blame to go around.
Someone said, "Is Don Sweeney next?" Someone wrote, "No, Sweeney ain't getting fired. Are you kidding me?"
He's done a pretty good job recently.
Yeah.
It's not his fault. David Pasternak and Charlie McAvoy have laid eggs. Maybe it's his fault that those are his guys, but a different conversation.
For our sake, by the way, the ratings came out. I didn't even know. Fabulous job, Skaz.
Oh, thank you.
For our sake, an extended series would help.
Joe, I have a feeling the Bruins win tomorrow night.
Really?
A strong feeling. Just because that's what the Boston Bruins do, Joe. They win a game, they have no business winning on the road, and then they come back to Boston and they will lose a double OT heartbreaker at the Garden.
Do you know what their record is at home over the last few years?
I heard a little bit of this on the afternoon show. Kevin Majora getting into the weeds of the Bruins numbers. It's bad, Joe.
Well, it's 3-10 their last 13.
Very bad.
So, is it worse? It's got to be worse than that then.
Well, you got to take out the Montreal games. That's where it gets really bad. You take out those, the Toronto wins. Take out the Toronto wins, it's ugly.
Well, the 3, I guess. Yeah. Holy smokes. They're over. They're over.
Not a great home playoff team.
But were the best during the regular season. They were the best point team of all time during the regular season. Wow. I will tell you, though, I don't think Swayman's the issue.
No.
Him calling the timeout, how about that one?
Interesting weekend for Jeremy Swayman.
And then he calling out a couple of guys on the bench. Who would have thought after this we would have been positive of Jeremy Swayman despite potentially losing the series? All right, we got Christopher Smith coming up next. Smitty on baseball. We'll get the latest on the Red Sox, who were winning last time I checked. 1-0 right now. Roman Anthony's up. Oh, we got movement. Movement. Is that a stolen base? Trevor Story. All right, well, I'll tell you what happens after this. You're listening to 98.5 The Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on The Sports Hub.
Saved Trevor Story right now, who's at the plate. Joining us right now on 98.5 The Sports Hub, part of Mass Live's team that has done great coverage on the Alex Cora firing from the Boston Red Sox. It's Christopher Smith. It's Smitty on baseball, and he's joining us right now. Smitty, how's it going tonight, bud?
Hey, what's going on here at the Rogers Center?
How is it tonight? What was the vibe on the road trip, I guess? A win yesterday and now Toronto tonight.
Yeah, that's a good vibe. Get things off on the right foot on the Chad Tracy tenure. Things have just been, chaotic, obviously. Players have complained about, lack of communication with Craig Breslow. And Craig Breslow, I talked to him today, and he's tried to communicate with some more players. Initially, there were no questions at the team meeting about Alex Cora. So it's just been pure chaos, obviously. From Saturday evening on, we had Cotillo there in Baltimore running over to the Four Seasons and, trying to get everything and, getting photos of them being, taken away in the bus and everything. So it's just been chaos.
Well, it's chaotic chaos for sure. The Red Sox are up 3-0 right now. Trevor Story flew out. I know you're there right now just to keep everybody on what's going on right now. 3-0 Red Sox. The Trevor Story situation, though, what happened today between Breslow and Story? Story seemed a little unhappy with Alex Cora being let go.
Yeah, so Trevor was one of the people that expressed that there was really no interaction between the Red Sox players and Craig Breslow at the meeting on Sunday morning. They basically were told what was going on, given really no real explanation on the firing of Corey and the 5 other coaches. And, basically they weren't allowed to ask questions. There were no questions asked. And so Trevor immediately said, to us, after that, I want an explanation in the coming hours here. I want to talk with Breslow. And so I talked today with Breslow, and he said that he has talked to Trevor. He didn't give me the specifics. And Trevor also told, Jemai Webster of Nesson that they talked. Didn't give too many specifics. Just, basically Breslow wants everybody to, know that he wants to be the best communicator as possible. And if they have issues or they have recommendations to be better, he said Trevor Story is an important part of this team. He's an important leader on the team, and very important to him and, Chad and everybody. And so they need him happy and everything. But that's the issue. We saw these issues going back to last year with Rafael Devers, lack of communication, not being not being, great telling players what is going on. And that's been an issue with him. And I asked him today, I said, are you disappointed that this has come up again? That lack of communication with you and that everybody's talking about it on, social media and everything. And, he said he can't, he's not going to look on the way that people react and stuff like that. He's just going to look on how to be better in the future and how to communicate with the players.
Do you think any of the lack of communication, narrative or fact that it is, has anything to do with Alex Cora and the way he may have spoken about the communication?
What's that again? I'm sorry. So, you're saying?
Yeah. Let me say it again.
No.
I know you're working, and I'll say it more directly. Do you think Alex Cora had too much control with the Boston Red Sox to the point where maybe Craig Breslow couldn't communicate?
I don't think that necessarily he couldn't communicate that Alex, but Alex had a ton of power, right? We go back to it, and he had more power than Heim. And, he's had a lot of power under Breslow. And so this is finally Breslow, kind of exerting himself, saying, he's finally, the man in charge. This is his team. If things go south now, it's on him. But I don't think that that's been the case. I think that Craig, look, he's a really smart guy. He uses a lot of big words. So, he doesn't act the same as when he was a player. I remember talking to him a lot when he was a reliever with the Red Sox, and he never spoke, robotically or whatever. He spoke like every other player. And since he's taken over this job, it's been more like that, right? Like, the corporate, every day, what you want to talk, what you want to say. And it just has come out that way to the players as well. And that's been an issue, I think. I mean, he's something that he wants to do better.
Yeah, and Chris, I know you're at the Rogers Center. Caleb Durbin just made an excellent play at third base to rob a big-time hit. His glove's been better, and I don't know. Does he seem more motivated now that Alex Cora is out of the mix? And can I give you two other names? How about Marcelo Meyer and Roman Anthony, who have 2 RBI tonight each?
Yeah, so I think with, this group, I think that, I asked Chad Tracy before the game, for example, about Marcelo, and he has not started a game against a left-handed starting pitcher all season. He's only taken 3 plate appearances against lefties. I wanted to know with Chad, are you going to play him more against left-handers? Are you going to give him the opportunity to, stay in games when he starts against a right-hander? If a left-handed pitcher comes into the game, if a left-handed reliever comes into the game, will you keep him in for that at bat? Is he going to get more opportunity? Because we know Cora was all about the splits and, the lefty, left versus right thing. And, and that's the way he did things. And he did it for his whole entire time here, really. And so I think that, Chad was talking about how Marcelo, he wants to get Marcelo some more opportunities against lefties. So I think that's going to be the interesting dynamic with some of these young players like Marcelo and like Roman. They work together with him, Chad Tracy, when he was in Worcester. When they were in Worcester, he was with them. They know him well. There's a connection he has with young players. He was great communicator and great at player development, at Worcester and getting guys over the top to the majors. And so I think that, when you look at it, the quote the other night that Alex Cora had, I think it might have been his final night on the job, he was asked about Marcelo Meyer, that base running play. He said, we've got a lot of young players and we've just got to continue to teach the game. Maybe they think that Chad Tracy's better right now, or they must think that Chad Tracy's better right now to teach the game to these young players. And, because there were a bunch of errors. Defense wasn't great for years now. I mean, the defense hasn't been good. There's been base running errors. There's been things by, young players. And so I think that, they're looking to Chad Tracy, I think, a lot to help out those players, the young players on the team, maybe get them going.
Talking to Christopher Smith of Maz Live. Smitty, I know you respect Alex Cora. I know, and I'll agree. He was a good manager.
Yeah.
But do you think he's taken any accountability since being fired by tweeting out, "I'm happy," and going to Aria in the North End and, hey, the Coras are going to be fine on a mass email? I don't know. I feel like I don't want to use the word victim, but I don't think he's taken any accountability.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily, if I was him, put it that I'm happy, because that means that, the ultimate goal when you're going into the season, was to get to the playoffs, to have a successful year. And they're 10-17, or they were 10-17 when he was fired. And, he was fired for a reason. You can't feel accomplished and feel good about what happened. So, I think it came to a shock to all of them. They were planning on, a coach's dinner that night on Saturday, and then, everything dropped. And so, I think that might be his way of dealing with it. If I was him, I would probably be disappointed in the job that I did in this season. And, the way that the team played and the way the game planning was, and some of the things that were that didn't go well out on the field, I would be disappointed. However, he was not given the greatest roster ever in terms of roster construction. We've talked about this on this show before, with all the outfielders and trying to put everything together and stuff. Craig Breslow communicated that with him when he fired him. He said, I know I didn't give you the best roster. So I think he is at fault in a lot of ways, but he was also, Craig Breslow's a lot in fault in a lot of ways with the roster construction. So I think that he's probably just trying to, deal with it. He's a baseball guy. He loves baseball. The last thing would want is to, leave the game every day after getting fired. So I really don't think that he's necessarily happy. I mean, I haven't talked to him. Maybe he is, but I just think that's probably the way he's coping with things.
All right, last thing, Smitty, before we let you go. We know about Jim Tracy, great career, right? Nice manager, coach. Chad Tracy, what do you know about him? Tell us about him. And, Craig Breslow wasn't necessarily sold that he is the next manager. But if he does a good enough job, could he be the future manager of the Red Sox and take the interim tag off him?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's his job to lose right now, right? Like, he's going to get the chance to manage this team for, they didn't make any. He didn't make any promises, Breslow, that Chad Tracy would be here for this entire season. But I mean, that would make sense, right? Like, the interim manager for the rest of the season, and if he succeeds, if he does well, I mean, it's all in his hands. He's always been a really good communicator. I was impressed. Like, when I went to Worcester and talked with him, he gives great details on players, really has good relationships with them. Like, even the press conference today, I mean, it's his second day on the job, and he's already clear about, giving details on players and what he thinks about them and their games. And he's just, it's funny because we often deal with a bench coach taking over for one day or something like that. For instance, like Cora last year when he went to the graduation with his daughter, Ramon Vasquez took over for one day. And it's very difficult when guys take over for one day and, to interact with the media pregame and give the correct or give good answers. And he's just gone right into it, and he's really taken to it. So I think he's the right person for the team right now. I saw somebody say, he's not a better manager than Alex Cora. Why would you fire him and put with somebody without any MLB experience? Well, sometimes change has to happen. I mean, basically, he might be the better manager for this team right now than Alex Cora was, even though he's not the better manager overall. He doesn't have a, World Series like Alex Cora.
All right, Smitty, I'll let you get going. Red Sox are threatening again. It looks like they may have just knocked out Cease from the game. So get yourself hunkered in, and we'll see how the rest of this game goes tonight. But I see a motivated team, man. I see a team that looks like they want to right the ship and maybe let down their former manager.
Yeah, I mean, that definitely is a shock to the system, right? I'm sure that there were people that didn't agree with everything that Cora did in terms of lineup decisions and playing time and everything. And so everybody, and I'm sure there was a lot of people that really liked Cora on this team. I mean, Trevor Story was very tight with him. There was a lot of people that were really tight. So I think that, it gives a chance for some of the guys that maybe they wanted more playing time. Maybe Marcelo would have liked more time against left. It gives them a little bit of a restart. And, yeah, I mean, it is go time.
It's go time. All right, he's Christopher Smith. Go check out all their work over at Mass Live. Chris had a chance to catch up with Roman Anthony today, talked to a bunch of guys as well. Excellent work from you and your team, Chris. Go enjoy the game. Appreciate you always taking a few minutes here.
All right, thanks for having me.
You got it. It's Christopher Smith. Smitty on baseball, everybody. Excellent job over there. The old fired coach Bob Skaz. I was on that one yesterday. It was funny. I shouldn't. But there were some people I saw today that thought maybe things would go back to, they win yesterday, but they go back to sucking again. I don't know. This Marcelo Meyer guy looks pretty motivated out there. Is this a bunt? Uh-oh. Yeah, okay. They're running a lot out there, huh? They're running. All right. Well, there's a lot of stuff we haven't done yet. Thank you for Christopher Smith for joining us here Let's go all over the board. You know what I got a thought on next? Mike Vrabel, was he at the draft or not at the draft? Where was he? We'll do all that coming up next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines.
Red Sox lead the Blue Jays 3-0 right now, top of the sixth inning. Marcelo Meyer and Roman Anthony each with RBI singles in this one at the NBA playoff.
made the decision that, the time away really needs to be time away. So we were not in contact with Mike today, other than some, just hope everything's going okay kind of text early this morning.
I will just say this. Caleb Durbin had an amazing play in the field. Like a diving catch and then threw the guy out at first. Normally, it's the guy who makes the great play leads off the next inning. But, what a catch. Sorry. But Durbin had a big hit. 4-0 right now, Red Sox. Duran just had one to left field. A great play by the outfielder there. But it's funny. Marcelo Meyer, Roman Anthony, Caleb Durbin. Gonna keep our eyes on that one, Skaz. Hey, you know what else we found out last week? The sniffer is never wrong. It's never wrong. I was on with Andrew Callahan and Michael Hawley, and I said, I don't know, guys. There's more to this story when it comes to Mike Vrabel. And boom, those photos came out. Today.
Doing a little shopping.
Today. All right. So I was on with Lucy earlier. She said the name of the place was what is it called? It's something at the airport. But I don't know. This guy's, if there's one thing that Kobe Bryant taught me, rest in peace. You know the name of the place?
Hip and Humble.
Hip and Humble. Hip and Humble. Which, of course, I am.
We could all hope to be.
I learned from the great Kobe Bryant that when you mess up that bad, you don't go to Hip and Humble, right? You don't go to an airport store, right? You just don't do that. Kobe Bryant taught us that you get jewelry, right?
You don't think a baby blue sweatsuit is going to do it, Joe?
I don't think a baby blue sweatsuit is going to do it. I don't. And if that's what he thinks, oh boy. Oh boy. Kobe. Just he's the king. And Kobe, what did he do? He bought a bigger ring, right? He bought like the biggest diamond in the world. So it ain't gonna be something at Hip and Humble, bro. It's gotta be jewelry. It's gotta be jewelry. And I don't know, Skaz, going to the airport and buying something there. Like me, when I was at the airport in Las Vegas, you know what I got? Cinnabon.
I mean, Joe, you're talking to a guy who's bought many a magnet.
Yeah, magnet's great
at an airport.
But magnet, shot glass, postcard.
Something. Yeah,
right. Yes, those are just.
That's what the airport.
Those are thoughtful gifts.
Yeah.
No, that's bare minimum.
Yeah,
that is bare minimum.
Yeah, the airport is not exactly ideal for gift shopping, I would say.
But
or maybe it is, Joe.
Maybe that's what he thinks. Anyways. Was Mike Vrabel a part of the draft or not? Because did you see one report? ESPN was like, yep, he's there. He's ready. He's helping him out. And then Elliot Wolf, as you just heard in the highlight there, nope, we didn't bother him at all that day.
But he was available by text, I also saw.
No, they didn't bother him at all, they said.
Well, it depends on which report you're reading, Joe.
So, I go back to the old Michael Felger. Did he have a collapsed lung and then not have a collapsed lung to having a collapsed lung? So was he there or not? We're going to talk to John Sarianides coming up in the next hour about the draft. I will say, though, him not being there that third day, or them, I'm wondering if it was punishment. What kind of counseling was this? Was it legal counseling? What kind of counseling?
Counseling that's only available on the weekends, Joe?
No, but counseling doesn't mean
it
therapy.
Could be anything, Joe. Anything.
Yeah. Anyways. I just don't know if he was there. I will say, though, the draft overall reminded me of an Elliot Wolf draft. I don't know if it was a Mike Vrabel draft. I just don't know. But anyways. That dude's going to go everywhere now. This photo's everywhere of that guy.
Why was he in Utah? He own a house there, probably, or something?
Well, how far is Utah from Arizona?
Not far.
Okay.
Little layover, maybe you're saying?
Maybe. Again, I mean, those people who took those photos, they're probably going to get in trouble, sued
for.
That's you can't take private photos of somebody and
he's in public.
Well, he's in public, but like you sold him off to. I don't know. Michael McCann wrote about this. He thinks that they invaded their privacy.
Sure. Yeah, go with that defense, Mike. See how that works out for you. Yeah, that's some good counseling there.
That's really going to help.
Yes, no, really fight back. That'll show everyone.
Yeah.
That's a good defense.
Mm-hmm.
Me personally, don't think I'd go with that one.
You take this sword, right, and you just fall right on it.
Yeah.
You make your mistakes your past and not your future.
That's very fortune cookie of you, Joe Murray.
All right. Well, we were going to do in or out. Well, we do in or out next. Sure. Why not? Let's do it next. You're listening to 98.5 The Sports Hub.
You're listening to Joe Murray on
quick. Smelly.
It's Joe Murray on the Sports Hub.
What's it gonna be, McFly? Are you in or out?
Are you in or out? Gotta know without a doubt. I'm the one you need for a dirty deed. I'm the best. Success is guaranteed. When it lands before anybody can move.
I'm out if they're trying to move at all. If you're stretching the legs, you can stretch the legs, But if you're trying to gain an advantage on the exit, 1,000,000% out. You want to stretch the legs, fine. You can get up, stand right next to your row. That irks me a little, but I got no real issue with it. If you're trying to run out of the plane, if you're vocal, you got a connection, okay. I can be human about it, but no. For the most part, Joe, I am strongly against.
Okay, the TSA lines, you gave me a heads up on those. Didn't have to take my shoes off.
There you go.
It was a big win for me.
Big win.
Anyways, what do we got tonight for In or Out?
All right, Joe, welcome back. It is April 27th, a Monday night edition of In or Out. We will be a little all over the place. We'll maybe revisit some we did last week with Alex Barth. Kendra Middleton also in for a show last week where we did a little In or Out. Joe, let's start with one that we did do last week because you were not here. Joe, I believe this was Dan Patrick. I had this first report. The Super Bowl in 2030 will be in the city of Nashville. Joe Murray, are you in or out?
In. I've never been to Nashville. But I know people who've been to Nashville and said it's incredible. My buddy Billy loves Nashville. And I believe you can walk right to everything's in walking distance to the stadium. In. What are the next few? I know, Vegas, guys, Vegas is a fantastic place for it's called the Hacienda Bridge. Once you walk outside Mandalay Bay, there's a bridge right there. You bang a left, it's about a half mile, and you're right there.
So the next couple, it'll be Inglewood, SoFi.
SoFi looks incredible. We've never been.
On Valentine's Day next year, 2027. Ooh. Then Mercedes-Benz in Atlanta.
Which I've never been, but I heard it's an amazing place.
And then 2029 will be Allegiant Stadium.
Love Allegiant.
In Las Vegas.
Oh, my God, do I love Allegiant.
Yeah, Mark Davis at WrestleMania? You think he should?
No, Tom Brady wasn't there either.
Who was the biggest non-wrestler that made an appearance at WrestleMania?
Tyrese Halliburton. Gronk.
Okay.
George Kittle was chugging beers.
Okay.
There was more popular people. Jelly Roll. Oh, they ditched the Jelly Roll.
They nixed that. They said, this is and McAfee out. I saw wrestling now. He's done, allegedly.
He's done.
For now. Yeah.
That storyline sucked.
Sure, that'll last. All right, Joe. We did get some announcement while we're on the topic of wrestling, the world of mixed martial arts and fighting. An announcement that feels 5 to 10 years too late, but we did get it earlier today, Joe, and that is that Anthony Joshua will be fighting Tyson Fury. Joe Murray, are you in or out on Joshua versus Fury?
So I'm in because I don't know when the next big fight I'll ever see is again. Is it late? Yes.
You're not excited for Jake Paul versus Roy Jones Jr. or something in a couple of years?
That would be bad. Just like Pacquiao versus Mayweather, I don't need it. It's way too late. Now, if I had to bet on it, I'd bet Fury because I just think he's been in more shape to fight other boxers. But Joshua just fought Jake Paul and made him look bad. I don't know if that's a good warm-up to go back against one of the heavyweight champions.
I'll take Tyson Fury in this one.
Yeah, but you know what, though? I'm rooting for Joshua. I just think his step down, it's hard to go back up.
Ever since the Ruiz fight, I just haven't looked at Joshua the same. Yeah, and Ruiz, good fighter.
And Wilder's fallen off, too.
Yeah, they all have. Yeah.
How come? Is there a fight? So, Kentucky Derby's this weekend, guys. I'll get my picks in, by the way. I've done very well over the last few years. Oh, maybe we'll get your old man's picks.
Yeah, get him dialed in.
Yeah.
Saw him this weekend.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Is he talking the Derby? Is he already
ready to go. He's got the pamphlets.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, but wasn't there always like a big fight the night of Derby night? I always felt that way.
I don't know. Like Terrence Crawford, Usyk. I don't even know who's considered like the guy right now. I have no idea.
It's a dying sport.
Certainly is.
Dawson made the short from me yelling, and it's me with my arms crossed looking pissed.
Well, Joe,
I'll share that out in a minute.
Speaking of pissed, a woman is facing eviction for playing loud baby noises because her neighbor's baby cries for 16 hours a day, she claims. She measured the decibel level of the crying and then played it back at the same volume on a speaker attached to a Roomba up against the neighbor's wall. Joe Murray, are you in or out on neighbor warfare? This is diabolical stuff. I mean, you don't think the new parents that have to deal with a baby that's crying for 16 hours a day, I mean, maybe that's a red flag in and of itself, but you got to feel for them a little bit.
Can I be honest with you? If it was kids playing music and you did it back to them, I'm in on it. But, like, it's not as if these parents can control a newborn, right? Like, it's almost as if, do you think they really want it to be that loud?
I would have to imagine not, Joe.
And you know what's funny? All right, this brings up another thing. You've heard babies cry at restaurants or whatever.
Yes.
Most people do pick up their baby and walk outside.
Yes.
Because they're considerate. Now, I don't want anyone to think I'm inconsiderate of people with babies. But there are people that just let it go and go and go. That's not considerate of everybody else, right?
I would agree.
So, like, in a way, are they being considerate to the neighbors? Have they asked? Have they said to them, hey, you shut your baby up?
I mean, should they maybe supply the neighbors with some earplugs or maybe some soundproof a wall or something?
Or like, hey, we're going to put you in a hotel for a night because of this issue.
Okay, all right.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'd be in on that.
Yeah. I agree. Diabolical out.
A little too far, I think. Just a little too far. Speaking of possibly a little too far, we will head to Japan for this one, Joe. Our friends in Japan are teaming up with Burger King to bring back a menu item I've never heard of. It is called the Baby Body Burger, and it is 1,856 calories.
Oof.
It is 5 beef patties and 8 cheese slices.
Hang on. 5 beef patties?
Yes.
Like quarter pounders?
That is what.
Or regular burgers?
I would imagine these are quarter pounders.
Oh my God. 5 beef patties. How many cheese?
8 cheese slices.
Okay, so 1 cheese is on both buns, so that would be 8, 7, 6. And then they're going to go cheese, beef, cheese, beef, cheese, beef, cheese, beef, cheese. Okay, keep going.
It also comes with bacon and sauce on it as well.
Oh.
Joe Murray, are you in or out on the Baby Body Burger?
What is it on a sesame seed bun?
It's on the classic.
Is there a third bread bun in the middle?
No, this is straight patties, cheese, bacon at the top.
So I have this correct. I have a bottom of a bread roll.
Yep.
And I have the top.
Yep.
Cheese on both.
Sure. Yep.
Bacon.
At the top. Yep.
Sauce.
Yep.
Cheese again.
Cheese.
Patty, cheese, patty, cheese, patty, cheese, patty, cheese, patty, cheese bun.
I have a feeling I'll be hearing that again at some point, but yes, Joe, that is the correct order.
That's beefy.
That is beefy.
Can I get my mouth around it?
There's another drop. I mean, it's wild.
Do I have to smush it down?
You might maybe a little press there, the hydraulic press. You ever get those when you're doom scrolling?
Yeah.
You see the hydraulic press? Yeah. Those are good.
I'm in. There's no onions, tomatoes, lettuce?
Apparently no, Joe. This is just for you, great flame grilled beef patties, cheese, bacon, and sauces. That is it.
I don't know if I can even cut this thing.
You're gonna need a log splitter or something.
You don't cut this bad boy.
No.
You go mouth right in the middle, baby. Or maybe a little bun on the bottom, then bite the top, even it out a little.
Do you want the third bun in the middle or no?
No. Well,
I'm a 2-bun man.
You know why? I'm a 2-bun man too.
Yeah.
But the reason why I say the third bun is you can get more sauce in there.
Maybe an extra piece of bacon or something
and
too.
bacon. I was gonna say, because is the bottom bun sauced up?
I can't comment on the bottom bun, Joe. I do not know.
This is the biggest beefy thing I've ever heard of.
It's definitely up there. May have to get boots on the ground out there.
Wait, where is this again?
Japan is where this is going.
Okay. You know the guy Jordan? He's a food review guy. I'll give you his name. He's the guy who he sees something and then just flies there.
Okay, I think you've told me of
and
this
he wears
gentleman.
glasses, and every time he eats something, he throws them. Jordan the Stallion?
Oh, I'm familiar with
dude's
Meg.
yeah.
Tough weekend for her.
Ooh.
Might have to get into that later, Joe. Tough weekend for Meg. Feel bad for
Clay
her.
Thompson and
Bad guy.
Anyways, back to the beefy burger.
Yes.
We need to put Jordan on the case on this one.
You think he? Okay.
Seriously, give him a follow. Jordan the Stallion.
Okay.
He'll just see something. His job is to just fly and eat things.
What a dream.
Yeah, he's got the greatest job in the world. I want to hang out with this guy. I want him to get on a plane right now, go to Japan and try this thing. Now, Skaz, I don't even know if I could create this.
You're not sure you have the technology, Joe.
I mean, it's not hard to get 5 patties and 8 pieces of cheese.
You flame broiling them though,
That's the thing.
Flame grilling them.
I can't air fry it.
No,
it wouldn't even fit in the air fryer. I'd have to compress it. This is something. I'm in. This is something I don't think I've ever explored before. I don't even think I've imagined this before. Now, have I made the triple quarter pounder or the McMurray quarter pounder?
Yes.
Yes, I've done it.
We have a jingle. Yeah.
The McMurray burger's different, though, because there was no bread. It was just chicken patties with a bread. But, I mean, do we need bread on this thing now?
Oh, now you're removing the bread. You're taking it a step further.
Now, I'm wondering, do we need bread at all? Probably do. We probably need bread for this one.
It's not broken. Don't fix it, Joe,
And barbecue sauce is the sauce?
It just says sauce. I would imagine it's barbecue, but who am I to assume?
I gotta look more into this thing. This is incredible. I'm in. I'm in.
All right, Joey, another food item that maybe you have not explored before. You put this in our Slack not too long ago, earlier tonight. This from our friends over at Cheez-It. They are dropping a new limited edition chili cheese dog flavor for the summer. Joe Murray, are you in or out on a chili cheese dog flavored Cheez-It?
Ooh. So, know what I've been buying lately is a little bit burnt Cheez-It of late.
Oh, the extra toasted.
Extra toasted.
You like those?
Very good. So this wouldn't be toasted. It would taste like a chili cheese dog.
That's what they're telling us, Joe. Heading to stores in early May.
I would try it. I just don't think it's something I'd bring to the beach. You know?
You think maybe a little too much for the beach?
Like if this was just like when you were a kid, you'd get, you would just put a little bag of chips in your lunch. And if it was just in there, hey, chili cheese dog, let's try this. That's when I would eat it.
The beach is like a Lay's classic. Like I'm not the biggest Lay's classic
I'm a
guy.
Cape Cod plain sometimes.
But yeah, at the beach, I feel like that's
or
what
a
you're looking
Ruffles
for.
Ridged.
Oh, there you go. Now we're talking, Joe.
I also am just a nice little cracker and cheese guy with a pepperoni at the beach too.
Little log. You got the pepperoni log out there?
Chili cheese. I would try it, but I just don't think it's something that would have to be a limited edition type of thing.
Are you more of a chili cheese dog or a corn dog man?
In life, corn dog.
Well, yeah. What else?
Cheez-Its.
In Cheez-Its, would you be more corn dog? I think chili. I'm okay. Now that you phrase it like that, Joe, I'm with you. In life, corn dog.
Corn
in
dog.
Cheez-Its,
Yes, in
chili
Cheez-Its,
cheese dog.
chili cheese. See, now you get it.
Yes, of course.
So in life, yes.
Corn dog.
Yes. Anything else tonight?
Why not, Joe? This kind of sports related, but just came across the wire not too long ago. I know we have our friend John Sarianides coming up next, but this from Connor Ryan. Joe Murray, are you in or out on the Bruins not having a morning skate tomorrow before Game 5 up in Buffalo?
And my only thing is, I think Lindy Ruff has outcoached Marco Sturm, and I don't mean that as Marco Sturm isn't a good coach. I think Sturm started it, saying we're the more physical team. We're the better team. Well, they were. But guess what? You gave up 4 goals in the third period and lost. Now the talent has risen to the top. Now your goalie's all messed up. Now you don't know if you're going to play Higgins and who was the guy you didn't know who he was? Harris?
Yeah, who the heck is that guy? Jordan Harris.
I would rather Mason Lowry screw up 5 times a game than that guy.
At least I've seen Mason Lowry skate before.
Yeah.
Jordan Harris, 6 games played this year.
Lindy Ruff has outcoached Sturm. And maybe that's why they're not doing it, because he gave it away, right? He told them what was doing. I mean, Lindy Ruff was like, yeah, we're going to go different goalies, but it just wasn't official. They did. Alex Lyon. Anyways, we didn't get into some of these. There was some of these I wanted to talk about, but I know we're up against it. Super Troopers 3 in. Favre's getting married, bro.
Is that the storyline?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't.
Oh, you didn't know? You haven't seen the trailer yet?
I have not. No, I just saw the
Team
headline.
Ramrod, baby. Does Dawson know what Super Troopers is?
No. Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we? How? I feel. He's going to leave us soon. We got to find out his last day. But I feel like maybe we should just stick him down the hall. Watch Super Troopers.
We need Street Team Joe. Street Team Joe's got about
Street
50.
Team Joe
He's still
and
gonna watch.
Dawson just go down the hall with some chili cheese dog Cheez-Its. Dude, they made 2 Super Troopers. Second one kind of sucked.
I don't even really remember the second one.
Actually, I don't either.
It's funny that you're thinking of the first one, that Brian Cox is in it, and then he became like ultimate serious Succession guy. But
and now he's on the McDonald's commercials.
he's everywhere. Uber, McDonald's. Yeah.
He's in this one.
Is he? Oh, well, good. Yeah.
Well, he's retired, but he comes back for Favre's bachelor party.
Of course he does. Yeah, I'm in on that. I like seeing that. I miss when like Giancarlo Esposito used to do like funny movies. He was great in those. Give me more, Brian Cox in funny movies. I'm in on that.
All right, we gotta. Yeah. Yes. Was there runners on base, or was that solo?
That would be a solo.
I need more runs. Home run, Red Sox. We'll tell you what the score is right now.
From the Town Fair Tire Studio, the game is on the Sports Hub.
Goes to the backhand and scores! Two-hand slam!
Boston's home for sports.
I know you've been out there in Vegas last couple of years. You ever done the actual stadium tour?
I have not done a stadium tour, but I saw the whole thing though.
Yeah, no, I get it, but it's cheap money. It's like $60 an hour and 20 minutes. I've done it twice. That's how much I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I had a tomahawk, a lobster tail. I had I've eaten very well at that place.
Yeah, nice. Where'd you stay? Did you stay right at Mandalay?
I stayed at Luxor just because it was cheaper than Mandalay.
Yeah. Nice. You going out again next year if they have it?
Well, no, it's in Saudi Arabia next year.
Oh, sorry, that's right. Yeah. I missed you by a couple days. I was out there. I got out there the 21st.
Yeah, I just hope my voice comes back.
Yeah, you'll get there.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, buddy. Love the show. Keep it up.
Appreciate you. Miles is also in Scituate. 5 patties on a bun. 5 patties on a bun. You don't know, son. 5 patties on a bun. Bacon, sauce, cheese. 5 patties on a bun. Cheese. All right, that's it. Let's talk to John Serenites next on the Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
fire it up for John Sarianides of New England Football Journal. Hello, John. How are you tonight, sir?
I'm doing all right, Joe. How are you, my man?
Well, I was watching the draft on Saturday, and you popped in my brain just right in there. And I said, John, do you want to come on Monday and talk about the draft? And you were like, I'll do it. So thank you, sir. How are you?
Well, it's our tradition. I'm doing all right. But more importantly, here's what I want to know. Have you paid the casino back for all the damage that you have done driving around in the ATV in the casino?
Well, so Bally's our new sponsor, which is not far from you, John.
It is not.
It's in Lincoln, Rhode Island. They're a new partner to the station, so I'll be going up there for the World Cup and doing some stuff with them. But that is, unfortunately, that is AI. But yes, they're having fun using my image and likeness, and I'm sure you can find those on Instagram somewhere.
They are. They do seem to be enjoying it, and yes, that is near where I live. In fact, my wife is from Lincoln. So I frequent Lincoln often. So perhaps one of these days, maybe I'll have to join you down there.
Oh, little Fred and Steve's?
That's it. I'm in. Let's go.
All right.
Maybe before the World Cup or when you're there for the World Cup.
Yeah, that'd be great. Oh, there is tailgating now. We should let everybody know that as well. They opened that up tonight. So good on them. John, I'm not maybe you can help me. The draft hasn't done much for me for the Pats this year. I know they needed a tackle, and they got one. And, I guess we should start there. I love the kid Akis. I love him from Illinois, right? Played under Brett Bielema outside. That's my favorite pick in this year's draft. But I want to be excited about a 22-year-old redshirt freshman who didn't give up a sack last year at Utah, which is a big-time program and a big-time coach in Willingham. But I don't know, when I think about it, like, the seventh best tackle they got, did they reach for it a little bit?
No, I don't think they did. In fact, had they not traded up, and I know it's only 3 spots, but had they not traded up, they wouldn't have gotten him. He would have been gone by the time pick 31 came around. So I'm happy with what they did overall, but I like this pick because I think, one, I like the aggressiveness. Elliott Wolf trading up to get him. That's not something that we're used to seeing around here through the years. The Patriots being aggressive on draft day and moving up. Typically, we're used to seeing them trade down. But I wouldn't look at it in those terms, Joe, that he's the 7th best tackle, because I will say this. There really wasn't much of a gap between those 7 guys. In fact, Lomu could have easily gone 10, 12 picks earlier than he did. Okay, you look at a guy like Monroe Freeling, who for most of the spring was the guy that was projected to go in the 25 to 32 range. His stock shot up after his pro day. He ends up going in the teens. But when you look at that group, I don't think there was much of a difference there talent-wise between those guys. I thought that they were pretty comparable, pretty close to each other. The other thing I would say is this, and I know a lot of people didn't like the pick because it's an offensive lineman and it's not sexy enough, but remember this, you don't have 7 offensive tackles most years that go in the first round. Typically, you might get 4. In a good year, you might get 5. And while maybe none of these guys are going to be a future Hall of Famer, this was a really good year for the offensive tackle group. And so I wouldn't look at it as they got the 7th best tackle on the board. They got a good one. They got a guy that I think has as much upside as any of the other ones that got taken. But it is important to keep in mind that most years you're not going to have 7 offensive tackles go in the first round. It just spoke to the depth of that group this year.
Is it not fair to compare him? Like, I think he's more like a Nick Kaiser type than maybe a Solder or a Vollmer, because I know people are going to go that route. I don't think he's beefy. Again, John, I did watch him play. He was very good. I just think he might be a little light for the NFL. So is that still something that's in? Are teams looking for the slender, taller, strong tackle, or do they want that lower body type? Campbell's a lower body type, right? I mean, when you think about it, do you think this kid needs a little bit of work as far as maybe even getting into the gym and eating a little more?
Well, he's 6'7" and 3/4, 313 pounds. So when you look at that body type, that's an offensive tackle all day. He played left tackle at Utah. Played there for 3 years, 2-year starter, made 22 starts. All of them were at left tackle. Now, I'm not looking to reignite the Will Campbell to guard conversation, but in 2 years from now, he could potentially be your starting left tackle. He's not a guard, and I asked Elliot Wolf about that on Thursday night, and he said that, yes, they see him as a guard, but when you look at that body type, I've been around this game for over 30 years as a coach. That is not a guard. That is not a guy that you're going to put a guard. You're going to put another 5 to 8 pounds on that frame. You're going to get him up to about 318, 320, and he's either going to play right or left tackle for you. And when you look at that athleticism and that elite level footwork, he profiles more as a left tackle than he does as a right tackle. Now, he is going to need to get stronger because, in theory, if he's going to be your right tackle, he needs to be a better run blocker. He needs to be stronger one-on-one on run blocks, stronger on double teams and getting vertical push. If you can get him in your program, your strength program, put those 5 to 8 pounds on him, get him stronger, he'll be fine at right tackle. But he can also play left tackle for you, which is why this season he's probably going to be that swing tackle, that sixth offensive lineman. You may see them cross-train him and play him a little bit at both guard spots in camp and potentially in the preseason. But big picture, long-term, don't waste time with him at guard. He is going to be a tackle. If he ends up at guard, it should be later on in his career, not right now.
All right, we're talking with John Sarianides of New England Football Journal. So we mentioned the Akis kid. Am I saying his name right?
Akis, yep. Gabe Akis. Yep. The J is silent.
The J is silent. That's right.
Silent lucidity.
I like this kid a lot. I know there were other pass rushers that went off the board or were available. I'm just going by the type of player. Might not be the quickest, strongest, but man, he made an impact. And I'm not trying to, when I talk about this guy, I'm not trying to make it like he's transitioning to the NFL. He was a productive college player that looked like he could play at the next level. I think that's their best pick so far. But just talk about him and what he could do and maybe the type of role he could play this year as a plug-and-play guy.
Love the pick. And he's a guy that they loved from the beginning. They had their sights set on him all spring. They brought him in for one of their top 30 visits, and they fell in love with the kid. And I think it's at that point, and I was told this, that he was a guy that they were extremely high on. And if you were looking for an edge, if they didn't take one in the first round, I was told 2 weeks ago, that's a guy to keep an eye on if they end up going edge in the second round. It ended up playing out that way. They moved up to pick 55 to get him. Has a wrestling background, played 4 years at Illinois, 3-year starter, played in over 50 games there, over 25 career sacks, plays heavy-handed, can set an edge. I love that about him in the run game. He can drop his hips and anchor. And as far as him as a pass rusher, yes, are there other guys in this class that are quote-unquote more explosive? Sure, but those guys are also undersized. Gabe Akis physically is the prototypical edge player in Mike Vrabel, Zach Kerr's scheme. That's what they look for. They want that 6'3", 6'4", 260 to 280-pound guy. That's why they signed Draymond Jones. Akis is going to fit that to a T. He is going to make an impact on this football team as a rookie. I would not be surprised if by midseason he's starting for them. He is going to play a lot of snaps. And I think of all the guys they drafted this weekend, Joe, I think he's going to be the most impactful as a rookie. He's going to make the biggest difference. And you're already seeing Patriots fans' reaction to this guy. They love him. They love the pick. He's going to fit in just right here. Again, I like the aggressiveness by Elliot Wolf, being willing to go up and get him, making that trade to position themselves to get him, and they played it right. They rolled the dice by not taking an edge in round 1. They waited until round 2. When they saw that he was close by, they went up and got him. You have to love that. But I think he's going to be a guy, perhaps more than any other rookie in this class, that's going to make an instant impact for this football team.
We're talking with John Sarianides. He's of New England Football Journal. I'm interested your thoughts on the rest of the draft, but I wanted to just highlight Eli Raritan for a minute here. If you watched Notre Dame football and you saw their running back Love, you definitely saw Eli Raritan. Like, I think he could be their third tight end right now. He can block immediately. He's had the ACL, the knee injury. Now he had one in high school, I want to say, and then had another in college or his freshman year. He was super productive a year ago. I know he can block, and a lot of his catches aren't necessarily route catches. It's a guy that got opened, he caught the ball and ran. So I am curious about his route running, but overall, I think he can block right away. Maybe there's some games he's inactive, but he's got hands, yards after catch. He's an athlete, played basketball as well, but does have that knee injury, and I wonder if that's what made him fall in the draft.
It did. I got to see him in person last year when we covered Notre Dame at BC, and he was impressive physically in person. He is all of 6'6" and a half, 6'7". But I think when you look at him, I agree with you. I think the potential is there for him to develop into a really good blocker. And I know people are already they need to resist the urge to compare him to Gronk. He's not
Yeah,
Gronk.
he's not. He's not.
Player.
He is not Gronk.
He's not. And like Gronk, though, he is coming into the league with an injury history. But physically, think more Mike Gesicki than Rob Gronkowski. But I do think if you can, it's not so much about he probably can play with another 5 to 10 pounds on that frame, but it's really developing him as an inline blocker. A lot of what we saw out of him in his college career, he was lined up as a wing, he would block back, he would arc release on an overhang linebacker or a safety. He can block in space. He can do all of those things that you ask your tight end to do nowadays in spread offenses in 11 and 12 personnel. But you need to be able to see what he can do inline, meaning he lines up as an inline wide tight end. That's what their thought process is for him long term. That they drafted him thinking if we could put 5, 8, 10 pounds on him and get him comfortable playing inline, he could eventually be Hunter Henry's replacement and be our starting wide tight end. Now, he's another guy, though, that surprisingly enough, I think could play a bigger role in this offense than people think, Joe, because if you think about it, he can be your second tight end in 12 personnel. He offers more in terms of what he can do as a receiver and from a matchup perspective than a Julian Hill does. So I would not be surprised if he played a bigger role in this offense than we think. It might not happen right away, but as the season goes on and he gets more acclimated, I could see him carving out a bigger role for himself down the stretch in this Patriots offense. So he's another guy that, while I would temper my expectations of him early, he could, as the season goes on, play a much bigger role in this offense than we think right now.
Yeah, when I heard him talk, he said he loves George Kittle. That's kind of the guy that he admires. I had a little bit of a Brock Bowers in my head thinking about him. He's just probably not the athlete, right?
No, he's bigger and he's not the same caliber of an athlete.
Yeah, I'm excited about him, and I'm glad that the reason why I like him. I think you should, if you get a top 100 pick and you can get a guy that could potentially be what you're talking about, 12 personnel, tight end, and a guy like Austin Hooper, right? I mean, I'm just to give an example.
And they run a lot of 12 personnel.
Yeah. I like the move. The rest of them, out on Prunty. I did not like him in college. He's old. He didn't play special teams. They like him. Again, I'm just the guy who watched. I know you watch a lot of this stuff. Maybe you see something I don't. He doesn't. I just think he's old. But why do you think they selected him and reached for him? He wasn't even invited to the combine.
Well, they were one of 4 teams that spoke to him in the pre-draft process. Well, I think they like the length and the athleticism. He's really athletic. You're talking about a guy that's 6'2", about 190 pounds, a quick switch guy, can stay in phase vertically. You want to see a little bit more in terms of his hands and his ability to play the ball, but the athleticism, the ability to read routes and break on route breaks, it's elite when you watch him on tape. Now, he did play off a lot at Wake Forest last year, but he's a guy that can very easily also screw down and play in a press technique. He has the arm length and the athleticism to do that. He's not a guy that's going to play for you right away, Joe, but he is a guy that if you're patient with him, you bring him in, you work on him fundamentally, you let him compete against Marcellus Dial, Kobe Minor. He gets into that competition. Your thought process is maybe he beats them out and he can eventually develop into a possible starter down the road, although I think that's going to be hard for him to do. But when I look at Caron Prunty, I think Alex Austin, but with more athleticism. Again, you're banking on the length and the athletic ability, and that's why ultimately they took him in the 5th round where they did.
Yeah, I just like the guy they brought in from Tampa Bay this year is Kendall Vildor is his name. I just think he's just more
Kendall Vildor.
Kendall Vildor. I just think he's more physical. I don't know.
He's a veteran guy that's been around. But remember, the other thing I'll say about Prunty is, and it's my disclaimer when it comes to the NFL draft, beauty's in the eye of the beholder, right? Like a lot of these teams, they identify a handful of guys that may be off the radar or under the radar, and they make them a focal point on their draft board, and clearly he was one of those guys for them.
The rest of the draft, Crownover is interesting to me. Watched a lot of Texas A&M was an awesome offense, right? He was a big part of it. Penalties, though. Oof. I remember him because he's a big boy. You can't miss him. Converted tackles, I think a converted tight end. Hey, I want to say he started the last 3 years at right tackle. But he played. He was visible. If you watch Texas A&M, he played a lot. But the penalties, the rest of them, I don't. Baron Morton was a productive quarterback. I don't see really much for him at the next level. I don't know much about Obiazor. Maybe can you give me him? Is he a guy that can be a player? I know TCU was a really good defensive program. Don't know much about him.
I think he can be, and I'll take it a step further with him. I think he comes in. I think he makes his football team as a special teams guy. But I think, like a Christian Ellis, I think he can develop in the next 2 years into a guy that plays a big part in your sub packages and could be a potential future starter. Now, look, when you look at where they're at in terms of off-ball linebacker, you got Spillane coming back. He was really good for you last year until he got hurt, and you have Ellis coming back. But that Ellis contract is a contract to keep an eye on. It's going to be a year-to-year thing with him until it expires. If Obiazor comes in, has a really good camp, makes this team, even if he marinates for a year on the practice squad, he's a guy, when you look at the body of work at TCU, a guy that can play all 3 downs. He's a guy that excels in zone coverage and gaining depth in his drops. He's a guy that can play downhill, plays with pretty good instincts. He fits the way they want to play. And so I think when you look at him, if they give him a fair shake, and they allow him to develop, and he comes in, like I said early on, plays on your special teams. If he makes the team, he's a guy that could eventually carve out a larger role for himself in a year or two, and then they'll be in a position where potentially they'll have to make a decision on either Spillane or Ellis. Now you'll have a guy that's ready to step in and replace him. So not only does he provide depth, but he is an interesting developmental prospect for them. I think he's a guy that's worth keeping an eye on because schematically he's a great fit, but I also think he's a guy that eventually can develop into a potential 3-down difference maker for them if he plays up to his potential.
Talk to me about Jam Miller. If you watch the SEC championship game, he caught a nice little, was it like a 28-yard catch for a touchdown? But, dude, he's not much. He wasn't much of a receiver, at least at Alabama. He had the collarbone issue, and I want to say he still had like 500 yards. I know that Bill Belichick used to love the SEC running back that didn't have a lot of wear on his tires, right?
Yes.
This is that kind of guy right here.
Yes.
But I don't think he ever got to reach his peak at Alabama. He was good. He was productive. I just don't think I think there's more upside here for him.
Oh, 100%, Joe. I couldn't agree with you more. I said the same thing on Saturday. There's not a lot of tread on those tires. He does not have a lot of wear and tear on that body. Yes, he's had some injury issues at Alabama, but when you look at him last year, 504 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns, I think there's a lot more there that you can get out of him as a runner and as a receiver. And I know, look, I thought he was pretty good in pass pro for them. I know some people will question whether or not he can develop as a receiver, but I think he is the perfect flyer candidate for me. You take a flyer on him in the 7th round, you bring him in. He's a guy that I think can impress pretty early on in camp and during the preseason. And if he does, he has a shot at potentially making this team, if not as the 3rd back, certainly as a guy that you put on the practice squad, and eventually he can get into that running back rotation with Stevenson and Henderson. So I think when you look at him, I agree with you wholeheartedly. There isn't a ton of production there in terms of a body of work, but the good thing is he hasn't had a lot of carries in his college career. He's relatively fresh, and I think his best football could be ahead of him.
He interests me. And then finally, before I let you go, BC's pass rusher, Quintavious Hutchins. I saw a lot of him. I know you have too. Last year, Christian Ponder made the team. Is he that type of pass rusher? Like, will he play some down linemen? Give us a little bit more on Hutchins, and did they take a flyer on him? Because I know he can rush the passer. He did it in BC.
Yeah, it's interesting because when you look at the production at Boston College, it wasn't there. But Q really popped at the Senior Bowl. Now, Kevin Stone and I have covered his career the last 3 years at Boston College. He's a guy that you could tell watching him at practice, during spring ball, during fall camp. He was a grinder, a worker. You saw some of that explosiveness and that athleticism. You also saw some of that power. For a guy who's 6'2 and a half, 235, 240 pounds, he can set an edge, and he plays heavy-handed. He is a guy that, again, I know that this may seem hyperbolic, but he's a guy that his best football could be ahead of him because he really popped at the Senior Bowl. It didn't necessarily translate to the Combine, but he had a really good pro day, and Mike Vrabel spent a lot of time with him at the BC Pro Day. And I think when you watch their interactions and then you watch him work with him, that's when you kind of realized he is the one guy here today that could potentially be in the mix for them. And I was told by a source a month ago that they really liked him. And if you were looking for a BC guy that they could take, that name kept coming up when I kept talking to people. So I'm not surprised that they took a chance on him at pick 247 in round 7. I think that there's a raw element to his game that you can develop. I think getting a chance to work with Mike Smith is going to do wonders for him. I think Coach Smith is going to get the most out of him. He comes in, plays special teams. You develop him as a potential sub-package pass rusher. You could have something. Remember, and I've been saying this all spring, Joe, the Patriots were never in the market for that kind of guy physically. They like the Gabe Arkuses of the world and the Draymond Jones at edge. But a guy like Hugh Hutchins could potentially develop for you as a sub-package pass rusher that could potentially play opposite an Elijah Ponder, and now you have two speed guys coming off the edge.
All right, John. This is why I wanted to do this. I wanted to talk about each guy and really break them down. I'm going to give you a name to watch in camp this year. You'll know who he is when I say it. And I think he could make the team. There's always one undrafted guy, Miles Montgomery of Central Florida.
Yeah.
Big time playmaker. I don't practice squad definitely, but I think he could if he stays healthy and gets in the preseason games, we're going to love him.
Yeah. And he's another guy that, again, along with Jam Miller, is going to be in that running back mix. And you do need, they did release Antonio Gibson, so you do need that third running back between them and Jennings and Larison, who should be coming back. They'll have some depth there, and they'll have some competition in camp as well.
Nice, bro. All right, man. I won't ask you any Mike Vrabel questions.
I appreciate you, my brother. Thanks for looking out for me.
Hey, real quick, Coach Lee of your beloved high school, King Philip, retiring this year. Can you just give us a little bit on Coach Lee?
Well, I love him like a brother to start. He and I have been friends for over 25 years. I coached with him at King Philip for 16 years. We go all the way back to when we coached together at Curry College in the early 2000s and late 90s, early 2000s. And, I mean, I was there with him on his first staff in 2005. We got to King Philip. They were remodeling the school. We had no locker room. We had to make up a locker room. Our second year there, the kids had laundry baskets for lockers. And somehow he took the program from that to a program that the last 3 years went 38-1. And in the last 10 years has won 4 Super Bowls. And it's a testament to him, his philosophy, the way he ran the program, the way he coached the kids, the way he allowed us to coach. What bums me out is that I'm not going to get to coach with him this year because he lets you be the best version of yourself as a coach. He trusts you and he lets you do your job. And I'm going to miss that about coaching with him. But he is he's a tremendous human being. He's great for kids. The proof is in the pudding in terms of the success that he's had. But the biggest thing of all, Joe, and I know this sounds cliche, he's a great football coach, but he's an even better person. And I'm proud to call him a friend, and I'm proud to have coached with him and helped him build the program that he built at King Philip, arguably the best public school program in the state the last 10 years.
Maybe we'll get a little Brody Zolak action next year. I saw him making some passes on Twitter. I don't know. Who's the next coach? You gonna step up, John? Have they named one yet? Are you in the mix?
I am not in the mix. No, in my current life as a husband, a father, an administrator, a school administrator, running 2 websites, I am not in the mix, my friend. I think 10 years ago, yes, I would have been, but now I am not, unfortunately. Believe me, I would love to keep it in the family, but it's I am not in the mix.
Well, John Sarianides loves his guy. Coach Lee's a legend. There's no doubt about it. It's so funny. Other people people know Coach Lee that know football. They just know that guy. Not even just being from there.
Well, they knew his dad. I mean, his dad was a legend at Walpole High School.
Yeah.
And then he took the torch from him. So he built a hell of a program. But he'll be the first one to tell you he was never a guy that takes full credit. He will always pass the credit on to us and the kids. But at the end of the day, we've had great kids there, man. Without great kids, you don't have success. It's the ultimate player's game. But you also need a great head coach and a staff that's willing to buy in. And he had it, and he had it both in terms of himself and with us. But again, we were lucky to have great kids, Joe. We had tremendous kids there the last few years. We don't go on the run we did without him. It's all them. So, but Coach Lee did a great job there in building the program and getting it to where it is.
You don't have to get in the weeds on this one, but we know what's happening with college sports. Could there be the same type of I'll use the term politics. Could there be the same politics in high school football?
Politics have always existed in high school football. I've been a head coach. I lived it. I know firsthand. It depends on your community and the expectations within the community. And then it depends on your administration and whether or not you have a good administration that's willing to work with you to help you build a program. If you have a good administration, if you have support from the parents and you have buy-in from the players, you're going to build a successful program. If you don't have one of those 3 things, the program's not going to reach its potential ever. You need that. But politics has always been a big part of high school football, especially because ultimately football is king. This isn't a knock on other sports. It's reality. Everybody wants to be good at it. But you also have those 2, 3, 4, 5 people in any given community that think that they can coach the team better than the coach. And unfortunately, that derails a lot of programs.
All right, John. Love the New England Football Journal boom microphone that you got going on right now. And what's that hat? What is that?
That is our so we launched a second website, Boston Baseball Journal. So we ventured into the baseball world. I've long had a lot of connections in baseball. I have a lot of friends in the baseball world. And, the last few years they've been kind of getting on me saying, hey, man, when are you going to do something like that for baseball? And I love baseball. It's always been my second favorite sport. Me and my wife have done every single ballpark. I love the game. And we decided that we're going to soft launch it this spring with the goal to fully launch next spring. And we're going to cover Red Sox, MIAA, ISL baseball, college baseball. Same setup to New England Football Journal.
All right, well, I got a bunch of interns that do a bunch of baseball elsewhere. They came here, and then they all got jobs somewhere. So maybe I can get some boots on the ground.
Well, hey, man, we're offering a lot of opportunity, especially on the baseball, both sides of it. But on the baseball side next year, we could be potentially offering people opportunities with both the Worcester Red Sox and obviously the Red Sox. So, we'll keep you posted. But if you got any folks that are interested in baseball, send them our way.
You got that Dawson Dabari? He's my intern right now tonight. Dawson, big baseball guy, goes to Dean.
All right. Well, then Dawson should get in touch with me.
All right, you hear that? Look at that kid, huh? Helping you out already. John, excellent job. Love you what you do at New England Football Journal. And, of course, we'll check out the Boston Baseball Journal. As always, John, you are the man, dude. Appreciate your time and your expertise.
Back at you, brother. Appreciate it as always, my friend. Have a good one.
He's John Serenides.
is would heat up, so they ran them around tiny tubes.
8 innings, 1 hit, 10 strikeouts on the night, 105 pitches. They win 5-0 tonight. Marcelo Meyer with an RBI. Roman Anthony reached on an Wilyer Abreu, Caleb Durbin, Carlos Narvaez went deep. What a night for the Red Sox, who are now 2-0 in the Chad Tracy era. Right now, Orlando is a 73-69 lead over Detroit. The Celtics will play tomorrow against the 76ers. They're looking to close out that series. Bruins in action tomorrow night. Penguins make it a 3-2 series. They win 3-2 tonight over Philadelphia. Knights have a 1-0 lead over the Mammoth at the moment. Headlines are brought to you by Boston Prolotherapy. Don't let joint pain keep you off the course or trail. Eliminate that pain with Dr. Franke of Boston Prolotherapy. I'm Joe Murray.
This is what happens when analysts take over the game, take over the sport.
This is where you talk sports.
It happens all the time.
The Sports Hub.
20 throws tonight, the 2-2. And in there for strike 3 as he gets to 10 strikeouts. A magnificent.
Right now, the Chad Sox. Yes. Dawson, can you make a graphic of Chad Kroger and Chad Tracy, and it says the Chad Sox 2-0? Can you do that? I'm sorry.
It's going to say our
Can
hero.
you handle that? Before we leave,
I can handle that.
We need it.
It's going to say our hero.
Yes, we need that right now. I will not. Listen. I think we have found our hero, and it's Chad Tracy, everybody. But can we give Ranger Suarez a little bit of a shout out tonight? That guy got $130 million. I didn't see it. Tonight, though, he was mowing them down. What's changed? Skaz, what has changed with the Boston Red Sox in the last 2 games?
I mean, to quote the great Jaylen Brown, Joe, has the energy shifted in the Red Sox clubhouse?
This isn't the coach bump, is it?
I mean, usually that's a one-game bump, right? And then they fall back to earth, as I believe some were murmuring to you today that the Red Sox may fall back to earth tonight. But that was not the case, Joe. Not the case at all. Ranger Suarez, his best outing of the year by far. 1 hit, as you mentioned, double-digit strikeouts. He looked great, pretty effortless performance. I think he was right around 100 pitches. No real threats. Leadoff double there late, but very, very good night from Ranger Suarez. And then, guys, we talked about earlier in the show, guys, you asked Christopher Smith about Roman Anthony, Marcelo Meyer stepping up tonight. Maybe a weight lifted off their backs this past weekend.
And to say that a hero can save us, I'm not going to stand here and wait.
Who's your favorite Chad, Joe? Is it Michael Murray?
Chad Smith of
the Chili Peppers.
Red Hot Chili Peppers, a very good Chad. Taylor Swift likes to talk about the Brads and the Chads.
Oh, I was unfamiliar.
You don't know about that?
I don't know if that one has crossed my desk.
Most famous Chad, huh? I mean, he's got a Tracy in there, too. Who's your favorite Tracy?
Chad Gable.
Chad Gable I like from wrestling. Most famous Chad. 617-779-0985.
Yeah, it's got to be Kroger or Michael Murray, I would have to think.
Chad Michael Murray's pretty...
Ocho Cinco.
Oh, Chad Ocho Cinco, okay.
Other than that, that's pretty much where I tap out on the Chads, Joe. Are you familiar with Chad Gray, the lead singer of Mudvayne?
Yes, yep. But he doesn't really count.
No.
They were the MTV2 Band of the Year back in 2002.
Oh, excuse me.
I only know it because, well, I was watching that type of music at the time. The Chad Sox, baby. What's changed, everybody? Ranger Suarez tonight, by the way. 8 innings, 1 hit, 10. 1 hit, huh? When did that hit happen?
Little infield hit, too, Joe. Sixth inning.
It was so we had a no-hitter?
No-hitter.
Wow.
We were on watch.
14 batted balls, 2 hard hit. You know, he led the Major League Baseball last year in hard hit rate.
I saw some of that tonight, finally. Well, he said it's weird. He had 8 scoreless not too long ago. Then he had kind of an odd start. Now 8 scoreless again tonight. So maybe Ranger Suarez now trending in the right direction after kind of a shaky start.
I also saw this a little while ago. Have you noticed the Red Sox pitching staff? Garrett Crochet the other night in a big 17-run game, 6 innings, 7 strikeouts, no runs. Then Alex Cora gets fired. Connolly Early goes 6 2/3, 4 strikeouts, 2 earned. Suarez tonight, 8 innings, 10 strikeouts, no earned. The Red Sox have given up 4 runs in their last 3 games. And they've scored 5 runs or more in their last 4 games as well, or 3 games. What's changed?
They got rid of Fatsy, Joe. I hate to say it, but swings certainly look a little better today. Narvaez with a nice little, I don't want to call it, an uppercut, but a line drive kind of home run from Narvaez. I don't know if that's drive line. Maybe Fatsy's hands are still all over this. But Pete Fatsy gone. Red Sox start winning and scoring runs. Alex Cora gone. Red Sox start playing some good defense, pitching well. Interesting, Joe. Just noticing. That's all. We're just pointing out what's going on.
Did you see any of the base coaches tonight?
I did. One was it Napoleon Dynamite, I believe,
Kip.
was the picture I saw that Dawson was showing me back here.
So that was Dawson who was on that too?
Dawson was he's hot on the Sox beat back here.
We need that chat. We need the Chad Sox, baby.
I periodically I can just hear Dawson letting out little giggles to himself, and I look over and I do see Chad Tracy in the beginnings of a Chad Kroger Photoshop over here.
Most famous Chads were the hanging Chads of the 2000 election. I don't remember that. I'm not really political.
before my time.
Exactly. I don't. If it's political, I got nothing.
I got a question for you while we're doing Sox talk.
Yeah.
If you're the New York Mets, you give Alex Cora a call?
Okay. I would say that either the Phillies or the Mets would be the teams.
I think you're dead on. Yeah, a little Dave Dombrowski reunion.
Daddy Dave. Okay. Is Alex Cora going to manage again, or is he going to be a CBO?
I just, the Alex Cora CBO thing, I don't understand. What has he ever done that would make you confident that he would be a good CBO? He's only ever been good at his job when he was part of the most organized cheating scandal in the history of maybe professional sports as a whole, and then when he was also cheating with the Boston Red Sox. Other than that, Alex Cora, unless he has the best roster in all of baseball, is not a very good manager. So I don't personally understand the Alex Cora chief baseball ops thing. It is a constant and unrelenting rumor that that's where he wants to end up. I credit his PR for that because I don't understand what his resume has done to warrant that promotion. But I can see him going to the Mets or certainly to Dave Dombrowski's Phillies there.
He's due so much more money. So I think if I was him, I'd wait it out till the end of the year.
Well, you're with the umbrella, Joe.
Yeah, that's right. You go with you go the umbrella route. You let everyone know how bad the Red Sox were and how hard your job was and how happy you are.
Yeah.
Because it's not like they couldn't have figured that out themselves. You know what though? Okay. In life, Skaz, every once in a while, Jay Stu always wants public service announcements from me every once in a while.
PSA, yes.
In life, right?
Yes.
If you are accountable, it goes a long way, right? Like, I suck. I did this and I suck. I'm sorry. And I suck.
I think the coaches in Boston as a whole could probably take a class in accountability.
Yes, everybody. Yes.
Yeah, Joe Mazzulla, pretty accountable, I would say.
Yeah, but
Marco Sturm, I think, is pretty accountable.
My only beef with Mazzulla's accountable, but my only beef is in the playoffs last year, he was not accountable. He kept chucking and kept throwing Porzingis out there when he couldn't breathe. He was going to live and die with that group because he's won with them.
They did.
I feel like Cora was doing that too, though. And it hurt the team. But I think Missoula probably didn't have any other options. Like, Cora's had other options. He just
Certainly
doesn't want to go with them because they're youthful and they're young. And he's got to coach them, right? Instead of managing them, he's got to coach them.
That's hard, Joe.
But I just think that, like, when you get fired, like Terry Francona, when they smeared his ass.
Oh, certainly.
Right, but he was like, yeah, they just need a new voice in here, man. I'm glad we won a championship. I love everybody in there. I could have done a better job. They need a new voice. Accountability, right? It was like everyone was Team Tito at the time. Team Tito.
Still,
you're right. Accountability, right? It just, if you let's say I fail at my radio job, right? And I'm like, the ratings sucked, and we didn't bring in any money, and we got canceled after whatever, how many years,
months. Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah,
Sure,
a couple months.
Sure. You got to be accountable for it.
Yes.
Because people will be like, I think Joe's learned a lesson. Or I think Skaz learned something today.
You would think.
And it goes a long way, right? So the next time you get hired, it's like, I know I'm not afraid to fail. I'm not going to do what I did before, like that kind of
Not
thing.
the same exact thing.
Yeah.
You're not going to do that.
You're not going to do that. No.
You wouldn't do the same exact thing.
I would not know.
Okay. Just asking.
But I just think accountability, though.
Yeah.
It's like when you become human.
Yes.
You're a human being.
Yes.
You're not just an egotistical maniac like some are, It's just Alex Cora saying, I'm happy. Everyone else could have figured it out. He doesn't need to tell everybody. I think a lot of people know that the Red Sox team's a little flawed, right? The Bruins are flawed.
Yes.
Bruins are flawed. I'm glad they're in the playoffs. They're flawed.
When you're starting Lucas Reichel and Jordan Harris in the playoffs, flawed.
Very flawed.
Flawed.
I don't know where I was going with all this. Accountability, everyone. When you get fired because you underachieved, you got to take accountability. Instead, it's I'm happy.
You do a little shopping at the airport, Joe.
The chorus are going to be fun.
Yeah.
What was it called? Hip and
hip and humble, Joe.
Hip and humble.
Hip and humble, That's what you do.
Hip and humble. Just when
I think of Mike Vrabel, I think hip and humble.
And just so you know, like, not for radio jobs, but like sales jobs I've ever done in my life, like, hey, why'd you get let go? And it's like, well, they went in a different direction, but I hit my numbers and this is what I did. And, hey, what do you think you could have been better at? Saying no. Skaz, in my life, I have a problem saying no.
You're a giver, Joe.
Yeah, and I'm an enabler too. I enable everyone's behavior because I want them in my lives. It's true. I do.
It's entertaining.
Yeah, like sometimes like some people are just going to be what they are and you just got to deal with it. Not everyone deals with it though, right? Not everyone does. I do.
Craig Breslow was done dealing with it.
He went to the owner and said, hey, man, you want this guy to blow out another GM that you spent money on? Isn't this what you want? Anyways, Marcelo Meyer, just a 6-game hitting streak, You just play him, right? And he starts hitting the baseball. The hero we've been waiting for is Chad of the Chad Sox. Oh, what a call. This is beautiful. We've been waiting for that hero, man. I remember you saying to me, Joe, I don't think he's coming.
I didn't think he was coming.
I think he's here. Who pitches tomorrow?
I believe it's Peyton Tolley tomorrow.
Flamethrower.
Against Blue Jays postseason star there, Trey Savage.
Oh, he's good.
I believe it's his first start of the season, though. I believe he's coming back from an injury, so maybe an opportunity there for your Boston Red Sox.
I buy a lot of his cards.
You Savage.
Yeah, he's
good name.
Red Sox are already underdogs, plus 102 tomorrow.
Okay. How long does the fired coach angle last, Joe? I want to see the lineup, before I make my decision.
How'd Trevor Story do tonight? We should look into that, huh? Trevor Story 0 for 4 with a strikeout, batting 191.
He had a good ABS challenge, though. A good one, Joe. think he still struck out in the at-bat, but
did.
yeah, it was a solid challenge.
I thought Caleb Durbin's been better. His average still sucks, 174.
He covers a lot of ground for a little fella. He's out there. He's diving left. He's diving right. He's a good fielder.
I'll give you this. Between Duran and Durbin, I do think they're trying.
Apparently, ever since Duran has switched his batting stance too, or changed up a little bit, he's been solid, hitting the ball harder.
He scored a run tonight. He struck out, but he hit a hard ball. A guy made a nice catch on.
First at bat of the game too.
Who's the guy who got disciplined by Alex Cora early in the year?
I believe, Joe, that was the captain, Carlos Narvaez.
See what he did tonight?
A little dong, I believe.
Hit, run, RBI. Batting 246. That's very, very high on this team. The best batting average on the team is Wilyer Abreu at 306. Monasterio, I feel like he might need to be in there a little bit more, just only because why take him out? Right?
He's been hitting.
It's almost like he hits, but he can't play the next day.
Yeah.
I don't know where maybe it, and I think Durbin is like revving up a little.
Oh, the little engine that could, Joe. Okay. Throwing some coal in the engine there. I like it. Revving that bad boy up. Yeah. The little engine that could, Caleb Durbin.
The little engine's a slow starter though.
Hey, you got to get it going.
Because sometimes the little engines are the fastest.
You don't want it to burn out, Joe. They burn so bright. Joe, would you do me a favor, please, and take a look at your Slack if you have it in front of you?
I will. Here we go. Yes. Oh, this one's going. I'm putting this one right.
That's going right to Twitter.
We're going to break. Play this. Give me the song one more time. I feel like I need it going to break.
Course.
The Chad Sox are here. I don't know why we ended up like this, Chad. That's fine. We'll just play this. This is fine. We'll go to break.
It's just left on Nickelback's shuffle back here.
We're gonna make it all right, but not right now. The Chad Sox, baby. We'll go to break. 98.5 The Sports Hub. All right, the Chad Sox, everybody, the Chad Sox. Well, I know we're up against it, but I figured there's more regarding Diana Rossini and Mike Vrabel. I'm getting tired of the story, but it's not going anywhere.
Are you, Joe?
Yeah.
Well,
I have fatigue.
Do you?
I have the fatigue.
I'm not there yet. I'll be honest with you.
Well, listen,
I'm not.
Sometimes you need a pump up album or a playlist, right?
Yeah. Well, Joe, sometimes you need to turn the page after maybe a tough stretch of games.
So Street Team Joe is actually the one who sent this to me. I know you guys threw it in Slack a little while ago, but looks like Diana Rossini got rid of her Twitter, which I thought was good on her behalf. But she does have a Spotify playlist that is public, and, well, she is sharing it with somebody named Mike. Now, her son's name is Mike, and I don't want to bring kids into things. I don't do that. But let's just pretend it's not him, because it might not be. There is a playlist. You should hear some of these songs, everybody. Definitely called Turn the Page is the name of the playlist. Diana Rossini and Mike. 18 songs on it. I have it on. All right, there we go. Beyonce's Cuff It. Big Energy by Lotto. That's the song. I can tell you got big energy, right? Just trying to keep it as clean as I can. Beyonce's Break My Soul. You can't break my soul. I don't think I know the Sam Hunt song House Party. Maybe I need to hear that one. My Love by Route 94. I'm not really familiar with that track. Tiesto and the Black Eyed Peas, Pump It Louder. Maybe I need to hear it. Raise Your Glass Pink. I know that one. I don't want to, but I do. Bass Down Low by Dev in the whoever. Can't Stop by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I like that song. Ooh, Papa Roach, Last Resort. I know that one. Welcome to the Jungle by Guns N' Roses. Whoa, Def Leppard, Photograph. That's an 80s hit. God of Thunder by Kiss. Van Halen, Dance the Night Away. Renegade by Styx. American Girl by Tom Petty. Girls, Girls, Girls by Motley Crue. And finally, Life is a Highway. This is the Turning the Page playlist shared by Diana Rossini to Mike. Big energy, huh? Okay. Trying to think of these other songs. You Can't Break My Soul. Welcome to the Jungle. Must be a fired up song. It must be. But this is the latest of the playlist. Turn the page. Oh God, it's never gonna go away, man. It's never going away. This is what do you think this is the playlist they're gonna play at camp? You think we're ever gonna be able to hear? Guys, I know you were busy back there. This is a good playlist.
You're going through the playlist, Joe.
Yeah, so
did you get to how long the playlist was?
It was an hour and 9 minutes.
How long is that, Joe?
Nice.
I was just curious. I was wondering. I would imply our audience to go to YouTube.
Oh, my God. That would be 69 minutes.
To watch Joe Murray have that realization in real time.
Holy smokes.
It's an interesting number, right, Joe? I mean...
Yeah.
You know.
So I don't know if I know what Cuff It is by Beyonce.
But you know what cuffing season is.
Oh, yeah,
of course.
And I know the Big Energy song.
Oh, a lot of big energy, Joe, I can imagine.
I can tell you got big energy.
Yes.
Okay. You Can't Break My Soul. I know that song. I don't know the House Party song, unfortunately.
Oh, a little house party in there.
I don't know. By Sam Hunt?
I am unfamiliar with Sam's work there. Oh, a little country.
I don't know
Seems
that one.
Appropriate.
Hey, stop. My Love featuring Route 94.
Oh, it's not the outfield. It's not that one.
Oh, yeah. You can get the best of my love.
Oh,
I know that jam.
What a banger. You think Street Team Joe will be working out to this playlist this week?
Pump It Louder by Tiesto.
Oh, that's a party song right there. Banger, as the kids would say. It's got that little Black Eyed Peas feel to it.
That's exactly who's in the song.
Yes, yeah.
Pump It. Okay. Oh, that's that song.
Yes, yeah.
Don't just okay. Raise Your Glass by Pink. That song sucks.
Oh.
Bass Down Low.
You're playing a scary game, Joe. Just playing these.
You're right.
I don't know. Whoa.
I trusted it.
You've been trusting it.
I trust it. Can't Stop Red Hot Chili Peppers. We know that one.
Classic. Yeah, sure.
This is my last resort. We know Welcome to the Jungle, Photograph. That's really 80s right there.
Renegade by Styx, too. A little Steelers nod in there.
Dance the Night Away. Well, he did play for the Steelers.
That's true.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Life is a highway, and I want to ride it all night long. By the Rascals.
The Rascals, Joe. I don't know if I'm putting the Rascals on a playlist in 2026. No, I just thought the runtime there was kind of interesting to me. Shout out the great Jake Seymour, who was always...
Oh, he found that one?
Yeah, the playlist was sent, and
He's
Jake...
a sleuth.
He is. He said, oh, what an interesting runtime that is. And I said, oh, certainly is.
Oh, my God. So, okay. you know who's gonna bump this one in the morning. It is Beetle. Beetle is Zoe back tomorrow?
TM Beetle?
TMB?
TMB.
Is Zoe's back tomorrow?
Joe, I don't know. I thought he might be back today. He's calling in from the pool, I heard. Found out his phone was waterproof. I heard that.
Oh, I hope it. Beetle, if you're listening tonight, bro.
I bet you some of those songs are on Zoe's playlist. I have to imagine.
I actually knew. I had to play them. But I knew at least 10 out of the 11.
At least.
I don't know the Sam Hunt song still.
No. My apologies.
That's because it's country and I don't care.
Yeah, not really us.
That's a shared playlist from her to him.
Allegedly. Yeah. It was to Mike.
Again,
common name.
She has a son named Mike, but I don't want to go there.
Common.
I don't talk about kids.
Common name.
Turning the page. What do you think that's all about?
Oh, you lose 4 games in a row, allegedly. You gotta turn the page.
Well, I'm pretty sure the Titans had some losing streaks, right?
That sounds like the Titans to me, I'd have to imagine. The internet is a scary, scary place. You know, if you're ever thinking about doing something wrong, just think about the internet because they'll get you. Even if it's just a Spotify playlist with a very specific runtime, they'll get you.
How long again was it?
I believe that would be 109 minutes, Joe. Or not 109, I'm sorry, an hour and 9 minutes.
An hour and 9 minutes.
Nice.
I can't believe that. Oh, boy. Anyways, need the Pistons to close this thing out. Magic. These jerks.
You notice who's courtside at this game? One Ja Morant.
Really?
Kind of odd, right? I don't know what he's doing in Orlando, but maybe he just wants to see playoff basketball up close.
Just to play it out a little bit, what team would he be a better fit for?
Orlando, for sure, I think. But he's not really...
Like him and Banchero, though.
Neither of them are good shooters.
Yeah.
And the Pistons don't have any shooters either, so...
I feel like he'd be better on the Pistons. But
yeah. Him and Cade are a little too redundant.
He can't play there, though.
Yeah.
No. He can't be a bad boy in Detroit.
No.
They need to go away from that.
Yes.
Jesus. These guys stink. The Pistons out. The NBA needs the Celtics. I'm going to keep saying it. And when they do, I can't. When do I see Felger again? Was he in the?
Yeah, he was in today.
He's not in tomorrow?
He's in tomorrow, I would imagine.
Sure?
Well, I'll look.
All right. Well, we have a hero tonight.
You got Felger, Big Jim, and Matt McCarthy tomorrow.
Oh, Matt McCarthy. Big Jim Murray has weighed in on the playlist.
Oh, please share.
He is sending me from behind the Daily Mail paywall, which we do not pay. Robert Kraft from eyeing a potential replacement should the situation become untenable. The Krafts are extremely loyal and have no intention of firing Mike, nor do they want to see him quit over all this drama. But if these upcoming few months go haywire, and if they are put in the situation of no return, either with the team not doing well or the drama of Mike's family issues taking over and forcing a decision on Mike's coaching future, the one person that they would seek to replace him would be...
Josh McDaniels?
No.
Oh, boy.
Mike Tomlin.
Oh, Felgers. Oh, boy. Somebody get Mike a new pair of shorts.
However, if Tomlin did not want to return to coaching after his TV stint because he just signed with NBC, the source continued that they might consider Coach Josh McDaniels to be Vrabel's replacement. But that is a situation that they don't even want to consider after initial thoughts, the insider said. The Krafts will ride it out with Mike Vrabel till the wheels fall off.
Maybe a poor choice of phrasing there.
They are very much interested in putting all of this in the rear view.
Turning the page.
So we've got...
They'd love to
how
turn
many
the
different song quotes did we get there? Oh, they did that. What are they? The 6 page? What are they?
Daily Mail?
Yeah.
Page 6 was the original, but this was the Daily Mail.
Every one of those are songs. Rear view.
You could say they just want to turn the page, Joe.
Wheels fall off. What a find by Big Jim Murray. Thank you.
How do you feel about Mike Tomlin, head coach of the Patriots? Oh.
Mike Tomlin or Josh McDaniels?
Tomlin.
I think I'd go Tomlin, too.
Absolutely. Maybe Beetle could bring back the impression.
I get criticized for a lot of the sighs that I do on the air. That one was more.
I was going to say, I mean, we just read a report that Mike Tomlin or Josh McDaniels may be the head coach next season. Think about the post-game sound with him, though, Joe. You're working post-game. Tomlin will give you some sound bites. Not a big fan of injury talk either.
I got to go to break. This is too much for me. We got to go to break. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines.
Red Sox shutout win tonight. All right, back here on 98.5 The Sports Up. The last hour of this show, which normally we get that every night. Between the playlist, the length of the playlist, the Daily Mail talking about Mike Tomlin and Josh McDaniels, and the Red Sox being 2-0 with the Chad Sox, that's content that you won't get anywhere else, and I dare someone else to get that content. That's, guys, I'm telling you right now, there's a lot of shows in this town that think they get content, and everyone does a good job. We're not agenda driven, by the way. Sometimes I can be. Don't get me wrong. I know you can be too, but like, we're not everyday agenda driven. You know, like we send a rundown to each other, but that thing we never follow. Like between the Chad Sox, the playlist, and that is some content. Like and everybody in the morning is just going to wake up and talk about it. We did it live. I'm mind blown. I am completely mind blown right now.
Mike Tomlin. Another Mike. Maybe it was his playlist.
And the Pistons are going to lose. Do you think about this? If the Celtics didn't play their, did he just say that?
Dawson just said, I was just about to say it to you, but yes.
If they didn't play their backups and win, this never happens.
There's a chance they knocked the Pistons and the Knicks kind of out of the playoffs.
So, yeah, because it wouldn't even be Boston. Would it be Boston versus Cleveland, probably? No, how would it work?
I don't even know. It doesn't reseed in the NBA.
Oh, it does. So
I don't think so.
Let's hypothetically say the Celtics take care of business tomorrow.
Yes.
Now, the Magic have 3 shots to knock them out, right? 3-1?
Yes.
What do you got, Dawson, for us?
Well, no, I was just going to... I think the Hawks-Knicks series, it wouldn't have been the Hawks if the Celtics didn't win that.
Correct.
For the Knicks.
Yes. But still, it doesn't matter. Whatever.
No, but pretty much what he's saying is like now the Celtics losing that game made it Hawks-Knicks. The Knicks could lose, and then it made it Pistons Magic, and the Pistons could lose. So the Celtics could have potentially knocked out their 2 biggest opponents by their G League team beating the Magic.
I think the Knicks win the series. Would it still be Boston versus Knicks if it happens?
Yes. Yeah.
So no matter what,
I believe
this doesn't impact that.
I believe so, yes.
It would help whoever they're playing, though.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll give Max a shout out. He said that the Magic would beat them in the series. It's not over yet. 1 hour and 9 minutes, everybody. This hour of the Sports Hubs been brought to you by our good friends over at Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Enjoy quick and convenient vehicle maintenance this month. Visit NoOneGoodOilChange.com. You'll save 15%. Hey, we got 2 games tomorrow, and we'll react to them both tomorrow night. Thanks, Gaz and Dawson. I'm Joe Murray, 98.5 The Sports Hub.